Welcome to a Merciless Gaming Media Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Today, we are playing our 7th episode of After the Tomb of Annihilation. Playing the role of a Zentlar assassin, Therander Valquindus is Jerome. Geth Stronghold, the human barbarian, is played by Hegan. Strokehog Brewbane, the dwarven cleric and druid, is played by Nick. Mr. Bubbinsworth, the Ketsune Ranger, is played by Casey. Myself, Patrick, will be acting the part of everyone else in the entire world as today's Dungeon Master. Please check out our Merciless Gaming Media Facebook page for podcast updates and some of our homebrewed content. Also, please feel free to drop us a comment, introduce yourself, and let us know how we're doing. Alright, so the last we left our intrepid adventurers. You had made your way through the city of Erebor, and going to one of the local taverns, you ran into a golden dwarf from the Great Rift, and he had given you some information in regards to the location of the Monastery of Vrag'Osh. Before you were able to leave the city, you had a run-in with an individual. His name was Grimhammer. Oh yeah. All right. So you ran into an individual from the Twilight Cabal by the name of Grimhammer. After going a couple rounds with him and defeating him, you left the city and made your way around the Sunset Mountains. After some searching, you finally came upon the Monastery of Vrag'Osh, and you made your way in very cautiously. In the main hall, where the floor was covered with a pool of blood, you had a run-in with what could only really be described as blood elementals. And after giving you several rounds of a pasting, you guys were able to defeat them. And that is exactly where we left off. Some of you are standing on the wall, standing on the ceiling. Maybe one of you is like knee-deep wading through the blood. Regardless, all of you are standing there looking at each other, and the only thing that discerns you from the rest of the room is your shape and the white of your eyes. Everything else is covered in blood. Every inch, every crack, every nook of your being, dripping off your hair, your mustache, up your nose, in your ear holes, down your crack, is blood.
I don't have a mustache.
If you had a mustache. What would you like to do?
I guess wipe the blood off my face so I could see better.
Okay.
I also wipe the blood off my face, and the little guy that's living in my beard comes out with like a mad expression.
As he wipes his own face off too. The Chawinga.
Yeah.
The little chimichanga that lives in your beard.
I mean, it's been about 2 weeks since we played last, but I think our plan was we were going to work our way to that door. Not this hallway, but the door on the opposite end.
The door to your right?
Yes.
Yes.
I believe we were going to work our way over there to check it for traps. Well, I was going to check it for traps, but I think that was the way we had decided to start exploring first.
Go ahead and move and set up your characters accordingly.
Everybody's upside down and sideways.
I was like, I think you guys are all sideways. I'm the only one who's upside down.
Weirdo. What's with those? It's a fucking mustache throws me off again, man. I can't deal with it, dude. It fucks me up. And the piercings. It's too much, man.
It's supposed to help.
It does. But the thing is I didn't have a problem determining whether it was a female character versus a male character. Once I knew it was Mr. Bubbinsworth, I knew it was Mr. Bubbinsworth. So
we've had a couple of slips where we've said she versus him.
But I think at the same time when that's happened, it's referring to Casey as in her playing her character, not so much like
fair enough
in-game her character. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know.
You'd have to go back through the recordings.
That's all speculation at this point. Maybe Nick could tell you.
You find yourself standing outside this door, and there's a little ramp from the pool of blood in the previous hallway up this ramp to this new door. The door, much like the walls and everything else that you've seen so far in the grand hallway, is made out of this like glass, blackish, wavy, folded rock. But it is distinctly a door that you see before you. Almost as if it's like carved from the very rock itself. You see on this door, on the mid-right side, a brass hoop, like a handle, that allows you to reach out and grab and pull towards you.
Before I do that, I guess I'll check it for traps.
Okay.
21 for search.
You do not detect a trap.
I guess I'll go ahead and grab the ring and pull it towards me.
Okay. Just to be clear, are you now standing on the ground, or are you still standing on the wall?
At this point, I believe we're not in the pool of blood. We're on an actual landing, because if I remember correctly, the last description we got was pretty much where the red square is where the pool of blood is. So at this point, we would be on more of a elevated, almost like a handicap ramp, so to speak, or like a ramp going up.
ADA ramp.
Yeah, whatever those are called. You know what I'm saying.
I do.
So, I think we'd all probably be just standing on the ground.
Is that good for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Don't all talk at once.
Whoa.
You pull the door towards you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Beyond this door, you see an unlit room. And on the wall, there are various pegs. Some are empty, and some of them have these dark woolen clothes hanging from them. Almost like a smock, or a cloak, or robes. In addition to the clothes themselves, there's these dark grayish like tabards with like a hole where you would stick your head through that go around your neck. And they too have this, they're dark gray, but there's this almost wavy symbol, almost like interwoven waves, curled. They're not straight lines, coming from two sides where they kind of interlink. Almost like a jaw, but bigger than. Like there's no side where there would be a mouth. And these aren't really teeth.
Would I be able to roll religion?
I believe in the last time we all got together and played, Thrander did maybe it was Brubane, I can't remember. One of the two of you made some kind of roll. And this symbology or symbols are kind of like all over the doors and the walls. And you were able to determine through your rolls that there's this
huge friggin' guy.
That's not a huge freaking guy. Boondock safe is hilarious.
Hey, you used the word symbolism.
You were able to determine in the last session that there are certain, I don't know if arcane is the right word, I don't know if religion is the right word, but there's some symbols that are representative of different elements. There's a symbol for earth, there's a symbol for water, air, etc. There's a lot of symbolism here for the negative energy plane.
That's right. I remember that because I rolled an Arcana because I was adding 9 to the dice. So yeah.
Yes.
That is correct, sir.
Thank you.
You are correct, sir.
You're out of control. Truly.
That was the old Billy Madison. Sorry. That slipped out. I guess go inside, huh?
Yeah, I guess we have 2 doors.
Yes, in the next room, aside from the description I gave you, there are 2 doors. One leading to the south and one leading to the west.
I can also, I guess I'll go ahead and... Which one do you want to open first so I can check it for traps before we mess with it?
You want to do the one closest to me?
Alright, so the one directly facing Nick.
Gotcha.
I'm going to check that one for traps.
Okay.
Bless you. 26.
You do not detect a trap.
Is this one similar to the other door? Does it got
is.
a ring on it? So,
It
alright,
does.
I'll pull it open.
If everybody wants to move in position, please.
Reach!
Thrander.
Mm-hmm.
So you open the door and you look into the next room. And what you see are 3 cots. And each of them, at the foot of the cot, has this old chest. Like a steamer trunk, but small. They're nothing that you've seen in this area is like dirty or dusty. There's not like cobwebs in the corner or anything like that. But the chests, like, it's not uncommon for old chests to have like leather bands and stuff. And so it does on one hand look like these things are taken care of, like clean of dust or dusted. But the leather bands on them are so old. They, from time, it looks like they're starting to disintegrate. Whatever moisture had ever been in, like jerky, they're so dried out, they look brittle. You can see the cracks. Excuse me. But the cots, they themselves, they're bedding. There's a pillow, there's a blanket, and again, the pillows and the blanket, they're not covered in dust. They're neatly laid out, but they themselves also look so old that just over time, whatever color is worn and has become grayish. Any holes in them is not from lack of taking care of something. It's just a lack of upkeep. They're so old, that they too seem to be, whether it's moth-ridden or over time, slowly disintegrating. But at the same time, it looks like somebody's taking care of the room.
I guess, I don't know, I guess I could check these chests for traps. See if do they have like exterior lock, like a padlock on them, or is a lock built into the chest, or is there no lock?
There is a lock built into the chest.
Okay. I guess I'll break out the old bobby pin and toothpick and see what I can do.
Where does everybody move?
I suggest going to the entrance. I'll call you if nothing happens.
Yeah, I'll stay right where I am. If
I mean the entrance to the monastery, not outside.
Oh.
The door.
All the way back. Huh?
If it goes, it's going.
It's good.
I'm just kidding.
Go ahead and move Therander accordingly, and anybody else that needs to.
So on my perception check to check the chest for traps, I got a 27.
You do not detect a trap. I'm surprised too that your cheater dad didn't roll a nat 20.
I only got a 21 on picking locks.
You rolled a 7.
What? You rolled a 7,
And
you got 14 on.
picking locks, yeah. I'm using my thieves' tools.
Holy shit, snacks.
It's one of my...
It is my speciality.
speciality. All right, Therander, you are able to successfully pick the lock.
All right. I guess, excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and open the chest.
Okay. As that happens, unbeknownst to Mr. Bubbinsworth and Geth,
Mr. Bubbinsworth.
out of the shadows behind you, at least 2 individuals. It's almost like they were there, you never saw them. They became substance where there was none before.
Mm-hmm.
And they are successful in surprising you. They attack. What makes them kind of stand out is they are wearing the garb that you see up on the pegs around this room. Their garb is almost, though it's dark, almost black in color. It's gossamer. It's almost like it lacks substance. They themselves look like they almost lack substance. Their face is humanoid, but their eyes are nothing but just black pits. Their skin is sallow and wrinkled and dark and gray. In their hands, when this attack comes at you, one is this dark blade. It looks like it's almost made out of shadow itself. Like they just reached into the shadow and pulled it out. In their other hand, they're holding what's called a censer. So normally you would see something like this when you would go to church, and there would be this censer ball hanging from a chain, and they wave it back and forth, and coming out of that censer would be the smoke of essence. That is what they have, except this censer and the chain itself is made out of this dark black metal, and the censer itself is large, jagged, and it has several sharp, nasty-looking points sticking out of it. But it does kind of eat this black smoke out of it. And it also looks like it's one of the 2 items that they're going to use to hit you in this attack. Mr. Bubbensworth,
Yes.
I actually need everybody except Therander. Everybody but Therander needs to make a Constitution save.
Ooh, did you make it?
I believe you may have some kind of advantage on poisons.
Mm-hmm. I'm immune.
Then you don't need to make the save.
Yay.
Immune.
I'm also immune.
Okay.
It's the whole. It's the faction.
Yeah.
Well, actually, technically, I think she is too.
Are you immune to poison?
No.
That's
Yay.
not part of your faction.
She
thing?
didn't do her little spell thingy.
It's a spell to protection from poisons that I have.
On the. What's it
faction
called?
chart.
The faction chart. I think
Faction
that's
advancement.
a faction.
But she's not a
advancement.
Zent.
It doesn't matter. I'm not a Zen. In the other game, I'm a Harper, and I'm immune to poison. Once you get a certain level in your faction, you have. So let's see.
Different factions have different bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what hers has.
Mm-hmm.
While you look that up, and you should, I'm going to take a couple swings on you. So, the individual, this creature, with that shadow blade, Mr. Bubbensworth, stabs you twice.
What rank is Mr. Bubbensworth in their faction?
I believe
advancement?
it's 3.
So according here to this revised list you gave us,
Yes.
at rank 3 Stalwart, you only get this at rank 3.
Yes.
Boom. Immunity to poison, cure, curse, disease, etc. Sanctuary Slave House, cover identity, knowledge advantages against a specific target, and access to stored information and medical treatment. And that's for all factions.
Gotcha. So everybody here's immune to poison.
I
Correct.
guess so.
You lucky. Lucky.
You're welcome.
So, Mr. Bubbensworth, you were hit twice by this blade. And for that, you're going to take... You're going to take 13 points of piercing damage. And unless you're immune to necrotic, you're going to take an additional 14 points of necrotic damage as your life essence is being drained from you. And your strength score...
Excuse me.
What's your strength?
16.
All right, your strength is now 8.
Wow.
The censor, he then swings on you. So he's like, it's like he swings out and tries to, well, he successfully stabs you with one of the daggers. He whips that censor over his head and you're able to duck out of the way. But that just opens you up again for that second dagger stab. Geth? So your armor class, Geth, is 18. Is that correct?
Nope, it's 21.
Okay, 21. So out of the 2 Shadow Blade attacks, only one is successful in hitting you. However, you're going to take 6 points of piercing damage. You're going to take 14 points of necrotic damage. And what's your strength?
23.
It is now 21.
What the fuck, man?
The censor also misses you.
These fuckers sapping people's strength.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
I mean, if you're a dexterity-based character like myself, yeah.
So those are the attacks that they are able to pull off. In addition, as everybody turns around, because now you hear Mr. Bovensworth say something to the extent of, and Geth say something to the extent of,
By Joe, I think
It's a
we're
trap.
under attack.
We got ambushed.
Ambush!
Ambush! Pineapples!
We're under attack. Wow.
Oh no!
another 2 come rushing in through another door. On that note, it's going to be initiative. Therander.
29.
Geth.
17.
Okay.
Mr. Bovensworth.
15.
That's right. Eat my dust.
Brubane.
4!
Alright, just give me a second here to set the initiative on the tab.
Uno. Well.
Very foamy at the top.
Yeah, it is.
It's like the sea foam in the ocean.
Mmm.
Have you ever eaten that?
Delicious.
No, I've never eaten sea foam.
Maybe that's what's wrong with me. Just kidding.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a start.
I don't get it. I don't get in the ocean. Are you crazy?
I know you don't.
Sharks in the ocean.
I don't mess around with sharks.
Do you know what fish doing there?
That's
Can everybody see that?
Holy
Yes.
crap. I'm first.
Yo, the monsters are before me? What the heckle hacks?
What? Because the monsters, for the first time in the history of ever.
Oh, you bought a cheater dice this weekend, didn't you?
Damn right I did.
No,
I had
he
to
did
keep
a-
up to with you guys.
No, he did a surprise, man.
Yeah, it has 20 on every side.
Yeah. He did a surprise
That's right.
round.
It's a 20 die. It's a 20-sided die that has 20 on every single side.
Those guys were lucky they didn't try to attack me because they wouldn't have gotten any advantage bonuses because I'm immune to surprise.
Therander, what would you like to do?
Look up the alertness feat. It's worth investing. I will whip around so fast with bow in hand that you didn't even see me draw it and loose 2 arrows.
Nice. Very cool.
That just goes.
Pew pew.
Pew pew. The cool thing is that some of my friends are within 5 feet of these targets, so I will loose an arrow into each one and be like, "Oh, you hurt my friend, and you hurt my friend. Get ready to eat fletching."
First,
I have to ask this question. Do you want to move up? Because of where you...
Oh shit! They're outside the room and I'm in the room, mother trucker.
Yeah, so everybody's in the second room. You're in the third room all by yourself. Now you can see, and you know what's going on, you can see the 2 in front of Brubane.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the other 2 that are in front of these 2, you cannot see them.
Okay.
That could change depending on where you move.
I guess I'll get into the doorway, and that's gonna be painful for them. I couldn't imagine getting shot at taking an arrow 10 feet from the launcher.
oh,
I mean, I understand that there's no mechanics in this game for bonus damages or anything like that, but in like real life, that would really blow. That's like charging up to the bowman and he gets a quick arrow off on you, fully drawn back.
Right. on a 110-pound test pool. Or more. 150.
That's
Getting
brutal.
shot with a ballista.
So, if I move up to the doorway, can
Yes.
Okay. Basically, all I'm doing is...
The crazy part is between Geth and Brewbane, there's actually this hole on the map where you could easily slip in, and it gives you full view of the entire room, which is where you kind of are right now.
Mhm.
So you see the whole room.
Okay. So basically, I come real quick, and I'm like, "I'll teach you." I might have missed. The one next to Geth, I hit armor class 14.
A 14 will hit. The target number is 14.
Oh,
Wow. No worry.
well, I'll be dipped. Alright, that dude is going to take... $18 points of damage.
Mm.
The one that's in front of
Geth.
Geth.
And the one that... He attacked you, right?
Nah.
Second.
Attacked,
One attacked him, and one attacked him?
him.
The one that attacked him is next.
The one that attacked Brewbane is next. Or Mr. Bubsworth.
Buttonsworth.
Button up.
Try not to poop yourself.
I just rolled a 1.
Oh. Snap.
I never used my bolt, and today I rolled a 1. Oh.
So you were in the third room. You whip around. You whip out your bow, snap an arrow into place, and you come just charging and almost kind of like throwing yourself out the doorway. And to your left, you release an arrow. For reasons unexplained, you thought that somewhere in this whole process that there was enough time for Brewbane to actually move forward. But in your rush to get out there and help your friends, you misjudged the situation and you actually charge and plow into the back of Brewbane. The two of you go tumbling to the ground, both of you falling prone.
What the devil?
It's...
Did I do that?
You bloody did.
That's going to end your turn. It is now going to be their turn.
What? Those bastards.
The first one is on Geth. The first dagger hits, the second one does not. You take 6 points of piercing damage. You take 14 points of necrotic as your life essence is being drained from you. And if I remember correctly, your strength was now 21.
Mm-hmm.
It is now 20.
What the?
Then the censer comes swinging around and bashes into you, doing another 11 points of bludgeoning damage. And again, it's this jab, swing with the censer, jab with the second swing of the knife. And though he hit you with the first dagger and he hit you with the censer, you're able to kind of get out of the way of that third attack. The other one that's in front of Bubbensworth swings twice. Let's see, Mr. Bubbensworth. Mr. Bubbensworth, do you wear a cloak?
No. Well,
A coat? A jacket?
I guess like a hooded sort of thing for the top, but that's really it.
Well, as he comes at you, and he swings that first shadowy dagger, rather than hit you, it actually gets caught, cutting into the cloak itself. And as you're spinning to try to dive out of the way, you actually rip the dagger out of his hand. However, as soon as it leaves his hand, it dissipates, becomes insubstantial.
Boo!
But that does end his turn. The one in front of Brewbane has advantage as you are laying prone. No? What do you mean no? You're shaking your head at me like I'm crazy.
My shield. So it would be regular.
Because you're usually at disadvantage. So now you're just at normal.
That fucking shield.
And the funny thing is he's got 2 characters that have that ability. How the fuck does that happen?
I don't know. What was I thinking?
What were you thinking?
He wasn't.
Brewbane, your armor class is?
18.
Okay. As you're laying there with your displacement from your shield, but still prone, thus not giving disadvantage or advantage, he is able to successfully hit you 2 times with the Shadow Blade. From the Shadow Blade, you're going to take a total of...
Brown chicken, brown cow?
You're going to take 17 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
You're going to take 28 points of necrotic damage. What is your strength normally?
20.
It is now 17.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
He also tries to hit you with a sensor
Mm-hmm.
and misses.
Okay.
Means you still have,
He then cartwheels very dramatically, like a gymnast, to the right, and leaping from a somersault in the hallway behind him, another monk somersaults up to you and takes a couple more attacks on Brewbane.
That's what it is. It's the monks. Oh, that's nice.
Only one of the daggers is successful in hitting you. You take 5 points of piercing damage, 14 points of necrotic, and your strength of 17 is now 15.
I'm gonna get that guy right there.
Right there.
He then also hits you with the sensor.
Look at that dude.
Right there.
That motherfucker right there.
Right there.
See that son bitch right there?
For 14 points of bludgeoning damage. What are you gonna do over there?
That son bitch right there.
That son bitch over there? Is that the guy you're gonna get that son bitch? That will end their turn. It is now Geth's turn.
No hesitation.
Geth goes into his Pantera Rage.
I'll swing on the one who's been draining my strength.
Okay.
For the first swing. $17 to hit.
14's the target number. It is a hit.
Doing 13 points of damage. On the second swing.
Okay.
We'll say about 31 to hit. I rolled a 19 plus 12.
Jeez.
10 points of damage on the second one.
Okay.
Then on my third swing,
Make it worse.
30 to hit.
God damn.
Doing 15 points of damage. That is the end of my turn.
Okay. It is now Bubbinsworth.
What is that expression for, Nick?
So really quick, wouldn't draining our strength and everything like that affect our ability scores?
Yes, that is true. But I think guess strength score is still what?
If it's over 20, it should still be +5.
I don't know if this really counts, but Dad showed me this thing. Feral instinct. It's like as long as you rage after being. Oh, it's after being surprised.
That was only for the surprise round.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with having your strength drained.
Dang it.
Yes. So
You got to keep track of that stuff, dude.
to answer the question, your strength is drained. Your ability scores are affected accordingly, which means the amount of damage you would do is reduced. Yes. In a physical attack, your damage is reduced.
No, I'll just write it down here.
What did your strength go down to? 21?
20.
20?
So you're still +5.
Yeah, so basically minus 2 points off of that damage he did for each swing.
Gotcha.
Because at 23, he would be +6. So.
Yeah, he's at +6, so he's still at +5 damage.
Gotcha. I have made the adjustment accordingly. Thank you, Nick, for pointing that out.
The one that was draining myself.
Yes.
So, as a bonus action first, I'm going to kind of conjure up this little... Pretty much trying to do ensnaring strike as a bonus action before I attack the one in front of me. So I start mumbling a bunch of stuff. Pretty much just sounds, or it's like...
Alright.
Is it just me, or does Mr. Bubbinsworth sounds a little congested?
So
It's the mustache.
It is the mustache. I need the one that's been attacking me to do a strength saving throw against 14.
No.
Okay, so... I'm first going to attack him. Because it says the next time I hit him. So I haven't even rolled. 25 to hit.
A 25 will hit.
Okay, so now he is restrained.
Okay.
And he's going to take 11 points of finesse slashing damage.
How much?
5. I already totally forgot. 5.
You
6.
literally just said it.
I know. 11, yes.
I got it.
It was that old and dainty memory that I have.
Yeah, it was better than hers. Yep.
Yeah, 11 points of damage. Now he's restrained.
Okay. He's restrained by
By
like a vine, like a plant vine-like thing.
Yes, by viney thorns, pretty much. Little planty viney thorns. Pretty much I hit him, and it just like touched him, started withering from him, and then connecting to the ground.
From where you hit
Where
him,
I
where the
hit
wind
him.
is, all these vines start to grow and
Yeah.
wrap around him and kind of like tie him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you have a grappling arrow?
No.
Because, like, that's literally the same attack that I have with my Arcane Archer ability.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking if it was the same ability, because I mean, we still don't know a lot about Mr. Bubbinsworth, so I don't know what he's capable of doing.
Me neither.
So that's why I was asking.
Me neither. I'm making it up as I go along.
What the?
Feel like, well, let's try this one.
I'm gonna make it up as I go along.
Just making crap up with my character as you go along.
I knew it was gonna be that kind of party.
Is that the end of your turn, Mr. Bubbinsworth?
Yes.
Brewbane.
Mm-hmm.
Stroke that hawk, Brubane.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
That's his name.
No.
It's not Stroke That Hog, Mr. Brubane.
Stroke Hog Brubane is his name.
All the time, he's just like, I am not using your first name.
His name.
Then you
His
I didn't
name.
use your first name.
His
You
name.
stroke that hog, Brubane.
His name is Brubane. That's all.
I'm not the one who came up with the name.
I don't recognize the first part of his name. I call him Brubane.
I understand.
Oh, man. So first, I will get up,
Yes.
and then,
You get knocked down again?
I'll extend out my palm,
Yeah.
and this green mist literally, like, flies into the two of them that are in front there.
Yes.
I need both of them to make a Constitution saving throw. It need to be to 16.
Versus. What type of damage is this?
Poison.
Whoa.
Okay.
Poison?
The immune.
No
resistant.
problem.
Oh.
Alright.
Son of a... We haven't seen
They
that
seem
for
to
a
have
while.
no effect on him.
Is that what that pencil whip meant? Nothing better as a player character than watch your DM write the damage down in the air.
Mm-hmm.
With a big cheese-eating grin on his face like
Yeah.
this.
At least that's a nice hint of us saying, "Oh, okay, time to change tactics."
Yep. Yeah, it's like literally farting in the wind.
Oh.
That spell was like a fart
What's
in the
that
wind.
guy cooking?
Smells like roast beef. Smells like roast beef stew.
What in the fuck, man? Farting in the wind? That's the best time because it doesn't linger.
Holy smokes. Alright. So yeah, that was my turn.
Okay.
I don't know where that came from, but it was pretty fucking funny.
So it goes back to the top of the list, which is Thrander.
Oh shit, man. I am going to roll acrobatics because I do not get up from being knocked prone like a normal person.
You
I
gotta-
do got to do some cool flip, twist, somersault.
the roll back onto your palms and then push up to jump back onto your feet kind of thing.
Yeah, something cool like that.
Yeah.
And then as I'm in mid, back onto my feet, I'm like...
Nice. Nice. Very
And
cool.
I got a 32 on acrobatics.
All right, well, you make it look super, super cool.
I'm an elf.
Like
Just
he does the roll back onto the palm of his hands, does the push, and as he's leaping into the air, that's when he pulls back the bow and the arrow.
He smiles.
Smiles. This little ding, and all of a sudden, bolts or arrows come shooting out of it before his feet even land. Sweet.
So the one on Geth hit armor class 16.
Yeah.
18 points of damage.
Okay.
And the second shot on the one that Mr. Bubbinsworth was fighting, because that's where I was originally shooting when I knocked myself and Brubane prone. Hit armor class 15.
Just barely.
Yeah. Better than a 1.
Yeah.
Playing Yahtzee over here. 21 points of damage.
As this second arrow goes flying through the air, hitting this target, it's like these creatures, when you hit them, it is of substance. They are of a physical form. However, it doesn't seem like that's always the case. And in this particular instance, even more so as the arrow tears through them. It's like tearing through... It would be like taking a shotgun to a piñata. Right? It just explodes. And tatters of dark material go blasting into non-existence. Falling to the ground is nothing but the arrows that you hit them with, poked through the robes and the tabard, and the censer laying on the ground. Leaving behind no physical form. Is that all you're going to do there, buddy?
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's... There will be no craziness this round.
No, that's not the right one, Casey. It's the other one. Nope. Yes. That was the one that was in front of Geth that he was attacking.
I did one arrow at the one in front of Geth and one in front of Mr. Bubbensworth.
Oh.
That was my original attack plan.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Which one was the last one?
The second arrow went into the one that's in front of Mr. Bubbensworth.
Okay.
The first arrow went into the one that was
Did I
fighting
take
Geth.
back everything I just said?
We got a sneak peek of the trailer of the upcoming death that's about to be made merciless by the DM.
God dang spoilers.
Yeah, where's that spoiler alert on that son of a...
I'll have to put that in editing.
Take this out, put this in there, so I don't look like a fool.
Exactly. Now you get it.
What the?
Now you get it. Exactly.
Nobody makes me look like a fool.
Not even myself. As hard as they may try. Okay, does that end your turn?
Yes.
Okay. This whole entire time, these sensors have been pumping out this smoke, this poisonous smoke, which doesn't seem to have any effect on you or them. But it's getting thicker and thicker, making the area more obscured. Give me a moment here. Okay, so with all of this smoke building up into the room, the whole area is becoming obscure, very difficult to see. And given that there is already no light in here, and I'm assuming everybody is using some kind of dark vision to see, that dark vision itself is becoming obscured. Everybody is going to fall under the condition of...
Blinded.
Blinded. It means all of your attacks are at a disadvantage.
Damn. Or does that make their attacks at a disadvantage?
Well, we're going to find out.
So that falls under the blindness?
The blinded condition, yes.
I'm immune.
Are you immune to the blinded condition?
I am. Because of the Warhammer.
He's got special eyes.
My special eyes!
Special eyes! Well, aside from Brewbane, that some bitch, everybody is under the blinded condition.
Oh. Sure. Sounds wonderful.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, the first attack is going to be on Geth. The first dagger hits, but the second one doesn't. Even with advantage, it still missed. You're going to take 6 points of damage, but it's halved for 3. Mm-hmm. You will take 14 points of necrotic damage. And with your strength of 20, it is now 16. Then, as you're sitting there suffering, feeling both your life and your strength being drained from your body, out of the mist, this smoky censer, and you only see it at the last minute, clocks you in the head. And everybody in the room can hear this tank. And you're going to take another 13 points of bludgeoning damage, which will be halved for 6. Mr. Bubbinsworth? Not your turn.
Okay. No, I'm saying the one that was attacking me. I thought he was restrained. Unless 2 of them are attacking me.
No, you are right.
So he has to do another... Well, actually, in the very beginning, no matter what, it says he takes 1d6. So he's going to take 5 points of thorny damage. And then he's got to make a strength save. 14.
No.
Okay.
Haha!
In the process of him trying to fight through these vines...
He dies.
No.
Damn.
He literally gets his feet and legs tied up. He falls to the ground, now laying prone. You can't really see him, but you hear the thud. And you can feel something brush up against your shin. As you assume what has happened is he is now tied up and fallen prone. I made a roll on his save.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so things are not going well for him. But there are 2 on you.
Mm.
And the other one is not affected the same way as the previous one. And he hits you both times. The first swing does 7 points of bludgeoning damage. The second one does 5 points of bludgeoning damage. For a total of 28 necrotic damage on top of that. And what's your strength currently?
8.
It is now 4. Your strength is now 4. That means I'm sure you gotta look at the player's handbook, but you're definitely going to be making any physical attacks at a negative damage.
It's a good thing I'm a dexterous finesse person, right?
Sure. I need you to make because of your specialty and your knowledge in certain things, I'm going to need you to make a insight roll.
15.
There is more than one way to die, and losing hit points is not the only way to do that.
I'm about to die anyways. Because I still, from the last battle, got
Mother
my butt handed to me.
trucker.
Were you ever healed after the last battle?
I don't... Were you? Okay.
Yeah, a
That
little
was
bit.
like 2 weeks ago. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay. It's a good thing that I've got a line.
Of course, I didn't take no damage last game.
Just remember, hit points is not the only way one can die. As a matter of fact, death... If things continue the way they're going, death is not even really the true answer to what's about to happen.
If you have all your strength sucked out of you?
Oh.
I'm gonna be like a little old man fox dude.
If anybody were to be able to see you right now, you would have your skin is starting to cave in and wrinkle. Your mouth is like kind of sucked in. Your eyes are starting to fall deeper into your skull.
I'm so like that.
Gosh!
I'm old.
The other 2 are going to swing on Brewbane. However, now that you're up and you're immune to blinded and you have your shield, any attacks I have on you are disadvantaged. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That is correct.
Alright, so the first one takes 3 swings on you, 2 with the dagger and 1 with the censer. And all attacks miss.
Oh.
The second one... Man, son of a... I had a 20 in there. What's your armor class?
18.
18. All 3 attacks from the other one misses you as well.
Okay.
That ends their turn. It is now Geth's turn. Any attacks you make on them, Geth, are at a disadvantage.
I attack the darkness.
All right. Please attack the darkness. It's not really dark. It's clouded. It's foggy. Ooh. In your rage, and you're blind. You're technically, literally a blind rage. You swing. And are you using your maul? Right?
Yes.
I was watching this video. This is going to sound weird, but bear with me. This is where I get the idea. I was watching this video the other day where this guy was on the back of a bull at a rodeo, and the bull comes shooting out of the chute, and it starts doing this. It's normal where it whips its head to the side, and then it brings its ass end around as it's doing like this circle of death. But it whips the head first, and then it kicks its ass around. Then it whips its head around and kicks its ass around. But it didn't get all the way out of the chute. So on its third head whip, it literally smashed its head into a metal wall. I had never seen a bull knock itself unconscious like that. It literally went to its knees with the rider still on it.
That dude won, didn't he? I mean, technically, it's about getting bucked off. So he won. He set the new world record on that bull, didn't he?
So Geth, as you're whipping around in just blind rage, everybody can hear the maul ring like a hammer on an anvil off of the wall. You hear this pang, with immediately followed with this thunk, as the hammer whips back off the wall, smashing Geth into the skull. It doesn't knock you unconscious, but it knocks stars. You can't see anything because you're blind, but you can see these little stars doing a little dance in front of you.
And I'm like that cartoon girl.
You're right, your eyes are like going back and forth. Your head's spinning around. That will end your turn.
Mm-hmm.
It is gonna now be Mr. Bummonsworth.
I guess I'm going to attack the one that is
In front of you?
not the one that's restrained, or not the one that's knocked prone and restrained,
Right.
but the other one that's attacking.
Yes.
16 to hit. 8 points of finesse damage. That's all I got.
Alright. That will end your turn.
With a
What kind of weapon are you swinging around?
short sword.
Okay. I mean, it is really difficult for you to swing this short sword. It's all of a sudden gotten really, really heavy. And you're thinking, for a weapon so heavy, it should be doing some more damage. But it's just like... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You're so weak. So weak. So tired.
So dainty.
so old and dainty. Oh. You may, for the first time in your existence,
Know what aging feels like.
know what aging and what mortality feels like. It's quite a unique experience for you, your character.
It's exhilarating.
So on one side, you're like, I'm hurting, I'm in really bad shape.
But I'm like,
Oh, this is new.
Okay, so your character's like this, he swings and like, I'm getting old up here right now.
must take notes. Dear diary.
Brewbane.
Brewbane will start to pray.
Yes. Yes.
Like, you do that.
Do what?
Grab your mic and you're like, oh no, you don't.
I was just straightening it out. Jeez. You
Whatever.
Talk about paranoia.
Everybody gets 31 hit points back. as he casts Prayer of Healing
Okay.
at 14.
Nice.
Now we're just old, but we're in shape. Physically? I don't even know.
Super buff old men.
So there's a couple things that are going on with the damage, right? You've got your physical damage from the hits, but you also have your necrotic damage, which is what's kind of aging you. And then you have the strength drain, which is kind of like another form of necrotic damage in this case. So the healing that he gave you is both for the physical and the straight up necrotic damage. It's not having an effect on your strength.
My strength.
Does that end your turn there, Ruben?
Yeah.
Thrander.
Alright. I will... Let's see. I guess I'll do the same thing I've been... Actually, I'll start off with shooting an arrow at the one in front of Geth. Oh, we're at disadvantage.
Yeah, don't forget you're at a disadvantage on your attack rolls.
Okay. Hit armor class 20.
Still a hit. Which one are you swinging on? Or shooting on?
I'm shooting at the one that I've been shooting that's in front of Geth.
Okay, gotcha. Yes,
And
yes,
then
yes.
the next one I'll shoot on will be the one that's in front of Mr. Bubbins' Beth.
Yes. Well, there's two. One of us on the ground, so I'm going to assume you're going to now shoot on the one that's still standing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to do 9, 10, 12, plus 6 is 18 points of damage to the one in front of Geth.
18, you said?
Yes, sir. If he's still up, I'll fire a second arrow.
At him, or the one that you said you were going to shoot at the...
Well, originally...
You said you were going to split your attack.
Yeah, I was going to, but I thought that one arrow was going to drop the one that was in front of Geth, and that was my mistake for thinking that. 'Cause last round, that's what happened. Because of the movie trailer, I kind of jumped the gun.
Yep, it was based off... They're different damage, though. Not equal. Yes.
Gotcha.
Close. Really, really close.
So-
Not the same.
Awesomely, at disadvantage, I rolled a natural 1. It happens.
Crap. Alright.
Uh-huh.
As you are reaching back for that second arrow in your haste, because you had a plan, and your plan had to be changed mid-action. It threw off your rhythm. And as you were thinking through this process, and these are, microsecond thoughts that are going through your head. Like, I'm going to do this, and then something changes. Like, no, I'm going to have to change my tactic. But as you're thinking all through this, as your hand reaches back to grab that arrow, you spill your entire quiver onto the ground. Arrows go scattering across the floor. Whoosh. Thus ending your turn.
Mm-hmm.
That ends your turn, so it's now their turn. The only person who can really see this is Brewbane. But you all hear this. The Master does not welcome you. The Master does not welcome you. This is like multiple voices talking in chorus. You must leave, you must leave, you must leave. Leave now, or die here, die here, die here. And as this is going on, you see, with the exception of the one that's tied up on the ground, actually, let me see if he can make a save. He actually makes a save. That doesn't really help him because though he's able to break from the vines, that's his turn. He's still prone. So he has to wait till next turn before he can get up and move. The rest of them start backing out of the room. What that means is your choice. being that you're the one who can see them, if you would like to take an attack of opportunity, you may. And everybody here could still make an attack of opportunity, but it's still at disadvantage. You can't see what's going on. You're just still like blindly swinging your weapons into the mist. Your call, your decision. We'll start with you. What would you like to do?
So at this point, being worried about my comrades, I'd rather focus on them
And let
and
these...
trying to heal any ailments that they have.
Very well. Thrander, since technically you're at the top of the initiative,
But I'm using a bow, so I don't get an attack of opportunity.
there you go. That leaves the two of you.
I'm still.
Yep. Leaving you. Mr. Bubbinsworth.
I'm stubborn. I'm gonna swing into the darkness.
How about you? By all means. So this is at a disadvantage. Mr. Bubbinsworth continues to swing blindly into the mist. The dark mist.
16.
Still successful in hitting them in this attack of opportunity. Now this would be the one who's able to move, not the one who's laying on the ground.
7 points of damage. Err. Err.
That will end their turn, but there's still one in the room. It is Geth's turn. If you want to continue to hold off, that's fine. And you're not actually in a position to swing or hit anybody unless you're able to somehow figure out where this person is laying on the ground.
I snap out of the rage since I hit myself so hard. I'm still trying to figure out what's happening right now.
Nice. Very nice. Mr. Bubbinsworth, you get the impression that some force has left the room as you hit it, as it's making its, but you can hear the rustling. You know there's one somewhere near your feet, and it's sounds like they're trying to either struggle to get up. You're not sure.
I'll hit him. I'll aim at the darkness, aim at the floor.
How about you?
Still disadvantage, even though he's knocked prone?
No. You don't have advantage. It kind of just cancels itself out and gives you a normal attack.
21 to hit.
Barely.
24 is barely.
Yeah, well, technically, yes.
9 points of damage.
Excuse me.
I think I got something.
I've got something over here. Anything else there, Mr. Bubbinsworth? Any other attack? Any movement?
I'm afraid to move because I don't know that he's on the ground, knocked prone. So I don't know if my character wants to take, even though I know I can probably take a step back without getting without being attacked, or without him having attack of opportunity. I don't think my character would know that. So
Okay. That will end your turn.
yeah.
Brewbane. Now you know there's one on the ground, and you know he is broken free from whatever spell that she cast on this creature, and you know that it is about to make its attempt to get up. You can only surmise and guess that it's going to try to bolt out of the room not bolt, but get out of this room like the others have.
Mm-hmm.
I leave it up to you to determine what you want to do next.
Okay. So I'll take up my mace and everything. hold it up,
Yep.
chant a few words, and it starts to actually like glow.
Yes.
And then light rains down on Gath. Nice. Not only is it going to heal you for 12 points, but it ends the effects of blindness, deafness, poison, and disease on that target.
Okay. You are no longer blinded. That does not bring back your strength.
Not on my turn.
Very good. It is Thurander's turn.
I guess I'm gonna try and gather up some of my arrows.
Okay. Like Thelma in the Scooby-Doo Mysteries, where she loses her glasses and she's down on the ground. Where's my glasses? It's kind of like that for you trying to find your arrows because you're blind. You can't see anything. It's just the room's chock full of smoke or fog or whatever this is. But yes, you can do that. That ends your turn?
Yeah.
On their last turn, this creature will try to back out of this room. It does still provoke an attack of opportunity from Mr. Bubbinsworth. It's up to you. You're like, F them. They're not you!
15 to hit.
Yeah, buddy.
6 points of damage.
Okay. With that, you know you struck something.
Aha!
But that's all you know. After a couple of rounds, and specifically of Thurander picking up and hit, down on his hands and knees and slapping his hands across the floor and grabbing arrows and trying to put them back in his quiver. It doesn't take very long for the smoke to slowly dissipate to the point where you are able to start seeing what's going on in this room. And all that's left is this one... actually, there's nothing left in this room other than what was originally described at the very beginning of the encounter.
Well, that's wonderful. They obviously know we're here for sure now.
We didn't even kill one of them.
It's true. And just to be clear, Jerome, just so you don't... because he was looking at me like I had done something wrong. When I thought the first time you guys killed it was because there was 21 points of damage, and it had 21 points of hit points left, but in that last round you did 18. So you were 3 shy, and that's why. Just to clarify, I wasn't screwing you.
Son of a...
If you had done 3 more points of damage, you would have been successful. Close.
No worries.
Would you like to go back to your original plan of investigating the room?
Yeah, might as well. Keep your eyes open. Do I need to make a perception check?
Yes, please. Let me, while you do that, I will do some investigation here of my own. So you investigate that first chest?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's right, I forgot I was opening the chest that I had unlocked.
Alright, so as you're investigating this first chest, what's odd about this chest is, as I described before in this room, where everything is at least dust-free, though everything seems to have aged a considerable amount, inside of the chest, there is a layer of dirt, grime, and dust. it doesn't look like anybody's actually done anything on the inside of this chest for quite some time. As you're picking around in it, you pull out some kind of substance. It looks kind of like a green rock. And at first, you're like, well, that's a rock. It's solid. But then as you hold on to it for just a few brief moments, it's like it starts to get squishy. It's like it's deceptively soft and squishy.
Huh.
And almost like a pearlescent green color. You also find it's a spool of thread. It's kind of like the spool itself is like this wooden, almost made out of like a white maple. But the thread that's around it is this really thin silver thread. It's almost like it's not even a thread. It's almost like it's this thin metal thread. You also find 7 gold pieces, but, and you know, gold pieces are a tough thing in Forgotten Realms because different places within Forgotten Realms, different kingdoms, different lands, whether it's Mithril Hall or Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate, they have a tendency to mint some of their own stuff. And being people of Faerun, that's not uncommon to come across a variety of different coinage. This particular 7 gold coins, though, are minted in such a fashion that you've never seen before. You could roll history if you would like.
Okay. Yeah, not very good. 7.
Yeah, you're not sure what their origin is. What would you like to do? Check some of the other chests?
Yeah, I'll check the other 2 chests, I guess. First, I'll check them for traps. First one. 19.
You detect a trap. It appears that the lock is built within the chest. It looks like there's some kind of sharp needle hidden within inside the lock itself. Actually, just above where the keyhole is.
Come and put your hand on this chest real quick. Just kidding. I will attempt to disarm the trap.
Okay.
Ah, fuck. I rolled a 1.
In your attempt to disarm the trap, a needle, it's not that it shoots out for distance. It literally just pops out like on a spring, and you can feel it go right into your hand. Right? So if you were like trying to pick it, that needle went like right into the finger bone, actually puncturing part of the bone itself, giving you one hell of a sting. Take 1 point of damage. You can feel this fiery liquid. It's not just the sharp poke of this. It's this fiery liquid that then gets injected into your vein. However, as luck would have it, you are immune to such a thing. You lucky son of a gun.
Okay, I will, I guess, unlock the chest.
Okay.
So I will make a picklock roll.
Okay.
Ooh. That's going to be a 32.
Surprising how easy it is for you, considering that you just got done tripping that trap off. But it's easy work. It's like child's play. It's like putting the square peg in a square hole in a child's toy. And it just slides open. Inside, it has a very similar issue going on to the previous chest. Where on the outside, there's at least a modicum of care, which is like dusting, though some things weren't taken care of, like the oiling of the leather bands. But inside, it is ancient. It has got cobwebs in it. It's full of dirt and dust. It's almost like as you open it, it's like opening some ancient coffin. So a lot of the material that's in there is actually disintegrated with time. However, you do see there's a ring inside, a gold ring. And as you pull this ring out, there's a gemstone, a blood red, ruby-like gemstone. What's unique about it is that the ruby red gem hovers, levitates just a couple, like a centimeter or two above the ring itself. There's no actual physical contact. You also find a mummified cat's paw.
That's why there haven't been any bad cat jokes lately.
Why is that?
There's a mummified cat paw on there. The cats are...
Zad did.
You also find 48 of these gold pieces, as I described them in the chest before, of some kind of ancient marking that you're not all that familiar with.
Alright. I guess we'll check the last trap. Or last chest, sorry.
Okay.
You got 15 to search for traps.
You do detect a trap, but this is not a physical trap. Just inside, as you're checking out the lock, you see just barely, just on the inside, kind of hidden, what looks like a very small magical sigil written on the side of, but inside the lock.
How the hell do you disarm a magic trap?
Dispel magic?
Okay, so to disarm a magical trap is actually pretty straightforward. You have to, much like you would disarm it in a physical situation, you do the same thing, but in this case, what you're doing is you're rolling an intelligence arcane check.
Maybe that's the reason why I actually have the arcane skill.
Could be.
Not very good at disarming magical traps. 20. Unnatural, by the way.
An unnatural 20. Very nice. Very nice. You are able to use one of your thief tools and work it inside the lock in such a way that you're not triggering the trap. And then by making a series of etchings in that same side of the wall where the sigil is drawn, you're able to kind of like break the magical seal, for a lack of a better term. The actual writing in such a way that it disarms it. It prevents it from being triggered.
Excellent.
Excellent. So,
Open the chest.
okay. At the risk of being repetitive, the inside of this third chest is very similar to the previous two. You do find...
What was that description again? I'm just kidding. Just like that one session when it was, however.
There is a small metal cube sitting on the bottom of the chest. As you reach into the chest and you pick it up, it feels like you're holding on to... Not only does it feel like it has even an over-exaggerated reaction as if it were like an ice cube. In other words, as you pick it up, the heat, or at least it appears, the heat from your fingertips begin to melt the metal, little drops of the metal fall back into the chest. And by the time you hold it in your hand, and you're holding it like this, it is just a liquidy pool of metal in your hand.
Strange.
What would you like to do with this liquidy pool of metal in your hand?
I will pour it down on the floor to see what happens.
As it pours down on the floor, and it takes a couple moments for this to happen, but it begins to solidify, and little riplets of previously dripped off metal that would dropped in the chest, and some that you dropped on the ground, slowly start to make its way up and over the lip of the chest, across the floor, all congregating like it was magnetic in some way. And then it re-solidifies back into this solid cube of metal.
I'll take a belt pouch off and wrap the belt pouch around it and scoop it up.
Okay.
Don't know what it does, don't know if it'll be useful, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to take it with us. I said,
There's also a jade figurine of a lion. But you know how, if you were to take jade, right, and carve two pieces and intricately reattach them somehow together. And in this case, there are two pieces. There's the lion, and then there's the lion's tail. And you can tell the two are two separate pieces of jade that have been somehow interwoven into each other, thus allowing the tail, though you're holding the lion, it looks like the tail can be manipulated.
Gosh.
Alright. I'm not going to test anything.
Okay.
Not right now, at least.
I'm not that guy. Give it to Mr. Bubbinsworth. I'm sure he's curious.
Do you give it to Mr. Bubbinsworth?
Well, once I get outside,
okay.
Once I finish taking all the stuff out of the chest.
You also find another 46 of these gold pieces from this ancient civilization.
I will come outside the room.
Okay.
I found a few items. Found this gold ring with this ruby floating in it.
Doesn't float in it, floats above it.
Well, floats above it.
Levitates.
Found this weird looking green rock, but it's not really a rock. It's kind of squishy, like a sponge almost. And I found this, and I'll open up the pouch, this small metal cube, but if you handle it with your hands, it almost melts like an ice cube. Not into water, but actual liquid metal. And after waiting a few seconds, after pouring it out of my hands, I noticed that it reformed into a cube. And it looks, I don't know, but it looks like, depending on where you pour it out at, it'll all find its way back to form one cube, basically. And then I also found this jade figurine of a lion with kung fu action in the tail area.
Action in the tail. I can't argue with that.
While he's talking, I'm going to make a medicine check
Okay.
on Mr. Bubbinsworth
Okay.
to see if there's anything that I can do or anything that needs to be needed.
Can I help him do that? Because I figured because of my background, I can probably sit there and make some herbalism tea or something that'll give everyone's strength back, or who knows what.
Well, in this case, what he's doing is he's not making a tea. He's trying to figure out what he can do to help you.
Okay.
Now, to answer your question, but only in part, yes, you can assist him with your knowledge. You guys can bounce ideas back between the two of you and give him advantage on his roll. but he's not attempting to cure you at this point because he doesn't even know how to cure you. Fair?
Fair.
$23.
Mr. Buffensworth is like, I heard that.
Between the two of you, you're able to, and you know, at the risk of sounding obvious, there is some kind of necromancy at work here that has sapped the strength out of at least two of your members that I'm aware of. Maybe three?
Me as well.
You as well? There does not appear... There's nothing in your collective knowledge that you're aware of, short of a wish spell. I mean, there's always something that can fix this aside from rest.
Mm-hmm.
Both of you, or the three of you who are affected by this, your body is physically telling you that you just need to sit down and close your eyes.
I need to lay down and die.
I mean, so there could be a spell out there, but there's no herbal remedy that you could do. There's no poultice.
I have nothing that comes with my faction that'll give us a good kick in the butt, wake us up. No.
Again, based off your knowledge, this is some pretty hefty
Necromancy.
necromancy. You have heard of similar effects, and so there are powerful spells like a wish, but it would almost be kind of a waste to waste a wish spell on something like this. There's no. There are spells. There are potions you could take. There are magical items that could offset this, such as like a belt of giant strength, a potion of giant strength, a potion of strength. But that's almost. It's not like a cure. It's only a temporary power offsetting a negative. You're
So the thing, so we don't have a wish. We don't. Besides any sort of belt, the only one I know that has it is Gath.
He has a belt of dwarven something.
Isn't it? I thought it was just giant.
He has a dwarven belt.
Oh yeah, because of his beard.
Right.
Right.
Did Geth fall asleep over there?
I think so.
Are we boring him?
No, just the food's kicking my butt, bro. I feel like I'm falling into a coma.
He said, bro. He's like, bro.
Your belt that you wear, Geth, is a dwarven kind belt.
Yep.
Okay, so that doesn't help.
No.
So we don't have any strength potions to my knowledge or anything, so and I don't have any sort of spells in my repertoire that can eliminate any sort of necrotic damage. I'm pretty sure you don't either.
No.
So
Understood.
So I guess what Brewbane will suggest. I think Geth, myself, and Mr. Button-Up all need a rest.
Well, there's 3 cots in that room over there. We could always.
You really want to stay here. Those things came out and surprised us. I imagine those are the assassins that we were told about.
Do that again.
Look how dainty that one looks.
I'm shaking over here.
I blow on her and she tip over. I mean, him. God dang it. I did it
That's
again.
why we got the
It's
mustache,
always
buddy.
me. Does it help? Shit.
He's very handsome.
He's very handsome.
His little sparkle in his eye, even when he looks old.
What the?
So what do you guys want to do?
Well, I guess we'll leave. But I mean, 3 of you guys need rest, and there are 3 cots in this room over here. Coincidence? I think not.
How about this? I'll leave it up to you.
You don't have to leave it up to me.
I'm leaving it up to you.
I don't require any
Geth,
rest.
I'm leaving it up to you.
No. We'll leave. I don't want to stay here. I almost died here. This one's about to die.
This one.
This one.
Yeah, Mr. Bubbinsworth looks like a bruised turd.
He looks really happy though. This is the
Yes,
best.
that's the weird part. He's got this cheese-eating grin on his face as he's sitting there shaking, hunched over, withered.
The scoliosis took him
Dear
over.
diary.
But then again, we won't really be able to go too far. Because they will probably know where we're at.
This
What are you
room-
looking like on health?
I'm almost full.
You're almost full. Okay.
But then again, I was behind you guys during that whole fight.
Oh, I know.
He's like, oh, I know.
Oh, I know.
Hey, don't give me a hard time. Most of the time, I'm in the thick of it. I'm in the thick of it.
I'm in the thick of it.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I haven't used my bow in 4 sessions, maybe?
Yeah.
This place we're in scares me. Each and every encounter has been a pain in our butts so far.
Thank you.
No.
That's the kindest thing you've said to me in
You're
quite some
in a
time.
room with 100. So I think we should just. Fine.
We can leave, that's fine.
No.
How
We'll
far
stay
away was
here.
that town that we came from?
Actually, it took you
It took us literally several days.
several days
It was
away.
a 10-day to get here.
So why don't we just leave for half a day's walk and then make camp?
I Sam.
I
could find a nice,
doubt
good
that-
survival place for us to hide at, and good rock to hide under.
I don't see any reason why they'd come out after us if we're not actually inside their sanctuary. They did say leave and they left. I mean, if they were really trying to kill us, wouldn't they have stayed and finished the job?
Yeah, it's a lich. They're fecal.
They are kind of shitty.
Fickle?
Fickle. Well, they're fecal anyway.
That's why I said they are kind of
I
shitty.
got that.
You got that?
They're shit.
They are kind of shitty.
It's just those creatures were fucking nasty.
You hear from the darkness. I heard that.
Shades.
He doesn't know. He's just a DM.
Mm-hmm. You know.
He only looked these creatures up and used them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think
I'm sorry, I forgot. I do have a drawing of what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
the Order of Shadows.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
I'm just
my
using a
bad.
picture.
My bad.
Spoiler alert.
My bad.
Damn it!
Oops.
This is what I get.
Well, normally
You should have covered up the name then.
Normally, you
Dude.
put your finger or something over it. Since
At the start of
It was a natural reaction.
At the start of this episode, we're gonna hear. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert.
No, I'm just going to put a beep in there. There's just going to be this beep. I need to track that down.
Maybe.
I'm sure I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I? Is there a way to determine, seeing the way they attacked and the type of ability that they used to drain, to determine what kind of beings they were?
Yes. You could, and I believe Mr. Bubbinsworth would probably be in the best position to make that kind of determination, but yes, you could make a nature roll.
Nature.
Mr. Bubbinsworth is like this, trying to get the
Yeah, it's like, honestly, I got a 4, so I'm so just like old set-minded now that I'm shaky.
You've gotten senile with the strength drain.
He's gonna have
Something necrotic and people.
Like somehow he got scoliosis, so he's walking like. Scoliosis.
I feel so alive.
You get delusional.
Delusion.
Would anybody else like to make an attempt?
Sure.
Yeah. You know what? I'll help. Never mind. You rolled.
I got an 11.
I got 19.
23. Proficient in it.
So, as you guys are talking through this and bouncing ideas back and forth, it's kind of hard to tell who puts it together first. Is it Geth or is it Brewbane? Though Brewbane probably has the edge. But the little light bulb goes off in your head, Brewbane.
Ding ding.
What you believe you just dealt with is some type of creature who was at one point living, who has undergone through some kind of necrotic process, becoming undead in such a way the likes even Mr. Bubbinsworth's group has probably never been presented before or have seen, which is why he struggles with the idea of what it is that you have seen. The short of it is, they're undead. They're not liches, but they've gone through some kind of necrotic drain. This was probably at some point this location, because it is because of the name, the Monastery of Vrag'Osh. This is a monk's monastery. These monks have undergone some kind of physical transformation into undeath, turning them into... They're not necessarily shadow, but they're not necessarily physical. They are, in a way, almost like the negative energy itself.
Fecal matter.
They're shit? No, that's incorrect. And with your 23, you know that's wrong.
This just reminded me of Lord of the Rings when you talked about how they went through some kind of necrotic thing and how they were alive at some point. All of a sudden, I thought you were going to say, one ring to rule them all.
Yeah, a bunch of
Nazgul.
Yeah.
Well, these are not Nazgul, but...
They're kind
Hey, good news. Second age, you won't have to deal with them.
Yay!
Bollocks.
Yeah, but he was earlier saying there was going to be like Balrogs walking around like all over the place.
There's one over in the trees over there.
I
Oh,
was
shit.
exaggerating, man. They don't just walk around.
We're first level on a picnic.
Would you like a sandwich, sir? Oh, shit, there's a Balrog.
All right, so with that information, the group of you beat feet out of this area, through the main hall, and out the front doors of the monastery, back into the wild. Keeping in mind that this monastery is kind of like built into the side of a cliffside that and that cliffside is like the western front of the Sunset Mountains. So before you, between the mountains itself, is the Skull Gorge. Is that right? Yes. Between you and the northwest is the Skull Gorge. There's a little bit of kind of like rocky hills between here and there. It's not exactly hospitable territory, but maybe if somebody were to do like a survival roll, you might be able to find a place that's a decent amount of distance that can also give you a relatively safe place to camp for a day or a night or both. Mr. Bumsworth, are you volunteering to make
I was
that?
like, I literally just rolled it earlier, and I was waiting to ask you if I could do a survival roll.
You can now.
18.
After hiking for a little bit through the hills and whatnot, Mr. Bumsworth is able to find a place down, not necessarily at the bottom of a ravine, but on the side of a ravine where there's an overhang in the rocks. A place where, because it's a ravine, gets you out of the view from a long distance, and also allows you to set up a small fire that can't be seen from a long distance either. Though if anybody were at the top or the bottom of the ravine and you were to have a campfire, they would be able to see that. It does seem to be like a relatively safe place to set up camp for the night.
Relatively.
Relatively, it's dangerous country. So it's all dangerous.
Danger.
Is that what you guys like to do?
Before they lay down, I'll just do my 4-hour meditation and I'll take watch so they can get rest.
Okay. I take that as a yes. That's what you want to do, is set up camp at this location.
Sounds good.
And then Thrander is planning to do he's going to do his meditation for the first 4 hours. Mm-hmm. Who would like to set up watch during that time?
I'll do it.
Okay. Brewbane will do the first watch while Thrander meditates and everybody else gets some rest. And at which time, if nothing happens, you can help him get out of his meditation, let him take over the watch, and then get your 8 hours of rest. Sound like a plan?
Boy.
Alright, so you've gone out, you found this ravine, you found this overhang that's kind of sitting above the ravine, but not out of it. Mm-hmm. Gives you some shelter, gives you some cover, gives you some good line of sight up and down the ravine. So anybody who's coming at you either has the choice of coming up or down the ravine or somehow over the top of it, right? The sides of which are pretty steep. My impression is that the three of you, which is going to be Brewbane, Bumsworth, and Geth, are all going to... No, I take that back. Brewbane's going to stand guard. The two of you are going to go to sleep, and you're going to meditate. You being Thrander. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of 4 hours, when you've had your full meditation, which gives you the effects of a full rest, you can then let Brewbane take a rest. Is that the plan?
That is the plan.
Yep. Okay, go for it. You do that.
But I'm all alone.
I guess I'm the one who finds the spot, so I'm like, this will be perfect. And I pull out my bedroll. Shing.
Does your bedroll actually make the shing sound?
I guess so. Little flip flop. Give it a little shake.
How are your wrists not so brittle?
crack. And then I look at everyone as I'm getting it all cozy, and I crawl into my little sleeping bag.
Crazy ass smile.
Well, Mr. Bumsworth is so old he lost his mustache.
Holy crap. Your lip is bald.
Bald. No.
Can't eat ice cream cake with a mustache on.
Fair enough. You can.
Well, we don't get that option because we did it.
Yeah.
I can't
I'm wearing ice cream cake in my mustache with glory, son.
Well, I'm using it like mustache wax right now.
So you get into your bedroll and...
I actually pull out a notebook and start taking like a Dear Diary moment. Today we were inside this mausoleum, right?
Monastery of Vrag'Osh.
Sorry. And I write down what my experience was so far, and go like, today was the first day I felt what it means to get so close to death, so close to aging.
The touch of mortality.
Yep. And then curl up in a little ball. Just like fall asleep.
Mr. Bumsworth writes in his diary, and when he closes it, He gets up, he walks around in a little circle.
Yeah.
And then kind of spirals his body down until he just tucks into a little ball.
That's just creepy.
What do the rest of you do?
I'm sitting on a mat, I guess, or I guess I'd be sitting on my bedroll meditating, but at the same time I'm aware of what's going on, and I'm just like, When he says that's creepy, I'm like, Because it states in the book that even though you're during that meditative trance, that you're still aware of your surroundings, so.
Sure. Kind of like Gandalf sleeping with his eyes open.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that's part of it.
That's super creepy.
I would think your eyes would be so dry, man.
Oh, God, yeah.
Geth gets in his bedroll. He's like, oh, that's going to be a while before I fall.
It's going to be a while. And out like a light. About 4 hours into your watch, Brewbane. It's uneventful.
Yeah, I'll just be sitting there kind of like humming a little tune to myself. Some diggy diggy hole.
Diggy diggy hole. Alright. Fair enough.
Thinking about potatoes.
Gross.
Since nobody seems going to be able to drop it, might as well run with
There
it.
you go. 2 potatoes running at each other over and over again. Okay. So, you guys kind of start at a weird hour, but between, his 4 hours and then you having to get your 8, it's a good 12 hours later. And let's just say, for shit's sake, it's now like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun still hasn't come up yet, but everybody's at a full rest. You got your full hit points back. Those of you who lost your strength, gain that back. All your spell slots are back. And Brewbane, since you're the last one to wake up, I would assume somebody at some point, I don't know, breaks out some hardtack or
Makes breakfast
out of jerky. I don't know.
Oh, I really wanted eggs.
Yeah. We do know you like eggs. And potatoes.
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 You know what, Mr. Bubbinsworth? Can I do like a survival roll and try to see if I can find a nice bird nest and make him an egg?
Yeah, go ahead, make a survival roll. Or, yeah, sure, yes.
17.
Yeah, you are able to go out into the surrounding wilderness and pilfer a number of birds' nests. They're sparrows, so their eggs are small, but you pilfer enough of them where you come back and you got a couple of pockets full of eggs that you're kind of like holding the pockets themselves to kind of support them, and so they won't jostle around. And you're able to make a decent-sized omelet that you could cut up and share with a number of people.
You wake up to the smell of omelette.
Oh, dang it. It would have been really funny if I were waiting for that part. I know what that feels like.
Aw.
What the?
This guy's out of control over here.
It's your fault.
Probably.
But would the eggs really be... Would we be able to cook with them?
Sure. Why wouldn't you be able to cook with them?
Because, like, chicken eggs are unfertilized eggs, therefore there's nothing in them. So they're easier to scramble.
Yes.
But wild bird eggs, that's a different story.
Depends on how quick you get to them. You can still get chicken eggs. Let's say you had a farm, and you had chickens, and you had a rooster. And the chicken, the hen, laid the eggs yesterday. As long as you get to them within a day or 2 or 3, even if they're fertilized, there's not enough. It hasn't had enough time to ferment. They're still, white in a yolk. It still takes more than a moment before it starts to become a thing.
That thing.
So, and what's wrong with a little crunchy beak in your omelet?
A little bit extra protein.
There you go. Gives it a little crunch, like cereal.
Gross.
I gross myself out.
Now, I was gonna say, if you want, we can get some of that. What are the black eggs that the Filipinos eat?
That's a hard pass. I've heard stories about that, and that's a hard pass.
There's some real crunch for you.
Ugh.
Nice, slimy, oozy crunch.
What would you guys like to do, and how do you want to go about it?
Well, at least we were able, for the most part. We didn't search that last room either, though, did we?
No.
You did not. And to be clear, that's not the last room. It was just,
Well, I mean, in that area.
right, in that area. There was one additional room that you didn't search.
I mean, that life drain thing seems to be a necrotic thing. Weren't you able to put up like some kind of a protection from a negative energy spell or something like that? That might help with that strength drain. I mean, I don't know. That's just theory. But I know that our options are pretty limited with the capabilities that we have at this time.
Allow me to look it up really quick. Oh, too far.
Consult your book of grudges.
Whoa, there's a big grudge.
Bless you.
Dwarves don't carry holy books, they carry books of grudges. That's their personal diary.
Dear Grudge Book, today I met a man at the corner near the tavern that I frequent. He did not give me a look that I appreciated. I am adding him to my list of grudges. I shall name him Man on Corner with funny look.
Get him, Nick.
Dear Book of Grudges, today I was working in the mine. Brewbane the dwarf was working in a vein near mine. He got some of his mine tailings near where I was digging. That jerk. Brewbane is now added to my Book of Grudges.
Hooray! Excellent! Okay, so... protection from energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we've had this conversation
We
before.
have had this conversation.
Yes.
But the thing is that... Oh, right. But because this says acid, cold, fire, lightning, and thunder, and everything like that, but you added, since it is an energy, necrotic,
Yes.
blah, 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 what would have you, would be in there.
Yes.
So... unfortunately, it is a 3rd level fucking spell. So I can cast it 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So that means one of us is going to be left out of the loop.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think it should be that one. Just joking.
Jeez.
Mr. Button-Up?
Well, so depending... if he is going to be... I guess I should do this in my other voice, huh?
Yep, please.
So we should have that one in the back of the group, while the rest of us are taking it right to their freaking chins.
I didn't actually get a chance to see how they moved. Do they move like normal people do? Or are they...
No.
Do they have a different type of movement? Because I wasn't...
Try stabbing your dagger in the air a few times. Let me take a good guess. Assassino!
I was in the other room, so I never saw when they showed up.
Yeah.
I only joined the fight after it had already started. So I didn't know if they, have a way of becoming, like, maybe ethereal or incorporeal and then, like, moving around and...
Well, they left the room normally.
Well, so you actually saw them kind of retreat.
Right.
And the two of them were the ones who saw... Brewbane saw them in the retreat. Butlinsworth and Geth saw them when they entered the room. And their movement in both cases was very similar, which is... There was almost like this gliding...
Figured.
And you specifically more than anything. Because when they entered the room...
Did they enter from that way or from that way?
It was a surprise round, but when they left the room... It was like they were able to leave the room without using the door.
Saying they passed through it?
It's not even like they passed through it. Keeping in mind that the room was already dark. There was no natural light. So, in a sense, the whole room was the essence of shadow.
Gotcha.
But there's a part of shadow that's called umbra. It's the darkest part of the shadow, right? And it was like they it was like A, they gravitated to it, and B, they were a part of it. So when that last one left, it's not like he moved to the door. It's like he moved to a corner of the room.
Where it was darker.
Right. And then before your eyes, either became part of the shadow or somehow moved through it. Almost like extra-dimensionally. It's hard to tell which. Their foot movement, in some cases, was very glidey. Though you did, in one case, and some of you may have, multiples of you may have seen this, is that there was a moment where, when they were entering the room at the beginning of the combat, and you, Therander, actually saw this because of where you were standing. One of them was, when you came into the room and attacked him, you saw that there was one in front of Brewbane. After his attack on Brewbane, he made a cartwheel movement, a very acrobatic cartwheel movement to his right, thus opening room for the guy behind him to then somersault, again, very acrobatic-like, into the room. There was a very smooth, gliding look to the way they moved, but there was also a high level of dexterity. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah.
Basically, I just wasn't sure if they just materialized, like if they were invisible at some point, or if they like popped out of, like thin air. So I was just trying to get an idea of like what their movement capabilities are, because, if they got run of the whole joint, we can pretty much count on probably being surprise attacked at any point when we go back in there. Especially since they already gave us the opportunity to leave and we're going back in.
They came out of the darkness, always at its darkest.
And the thing is no matter how much light you use, light always casts a shadow.
And at first I thought it was because right as you open the chest, we got ambushed. I was like, maybe there was a trap that we didn't notice, and then right as you open the chest, that activated and summoned those things. But that went out of the window. Right as I saw them leaving, I was like, oh, never mind.
I really don't want to run into the Lich in here. If we're having a hard time with his underlings, dealing with him would be even worse. Besides that, I think we've already pretty much decided that facing off against the Lich while its phylacteries intact is still a bad idea anyway.
Damn undead. Why does it have to always be leeches? Why can't it be like demons or devils?
Wrong campaign.
No shit.
Iron Man.
Uh-oh, he's thinking.
He got his mustache back. Woo.
Now that Mr. Bubbensworth is no longer an old man, his mustache grew back.
Very nice. That's convenient.
Has it?
Yep.
Oh. Well, you know that I can generate light. Don't know if it will do anything. We'd have to try it.
This reminds me of this horror movie I watched a while
Come on,
back.
then.
I guess would I know? Would I be like, I wonder if he's correct. If him generating light, since they're coming from the shadows, would have any effect.
You could roll a nature roll.
$16.
It's possible that, I mean, to Thurander's point, light does cast shadows, and those shadows could open a door of opportunity. But at the same time, there's a distance between where the light and that shadow would be, all depending on where that light is and where the other object is and where the shadow is, right? So it, in a sense, potentially creates a bubble of light that may or may not be helpful. Does that make sense? Or am I speaking too indirectly?
So definitely maybe like a bubble of light ahead of us would be able to...
Yes, the exact verbiage I would say is definitely maybe.
Definitely maybe.
Bubble of light. Oh. All I got is this damn hammer. It actually like shines brightly in his face. See?
Right. Put it away.
Bright light, bright light.
I mean, I guess the only thing is with the light, I guess it would at least minimize our chances of being snuck up on as long as we keep an eye on where the shadows are being generated from. We might have at least a little more control of where the shadows are to a certain degree. I mean, not to say that they can't just come at us anyways, but at least maybe we could avoid being ambushed again if we use our own light source to kind of control the shadows.
Right. Anyways, hand over those items. Come on. You know you wanna. Oh, but first question, when do you want to go back in?
I figured we were going to discuss what we were going to try to do to help ourselves first, which is what we're doing right now, and then decide if we were going to go back in today.
I can only cast... no way, actually. I could probably cast it another time, too. It would have to be at a higher level, wouldn't it?
What?
You can cast that spell at a higher level, I believe. What spell we're talking about?
The protection from energy?
I believe that is true. I don't think you get any additional benefit.
I don't think
from
you
it.
would. So what I'm asking is can I spend a higher spell slot so I can cast it again?
Well, the thing
That's
is,
something you can do.
most of those spells, the way they work is if you cast it at a higher level, if it has that option, what it'll allow you to do is affect one additional creature per spell level.
Right. So right now I can cast it 3 times.
But it should say in the spell description what would happen if you...
It
it doesn't.
Yeah.
Protection from energy just gives you the brief description of what energies it could protect you from and everything like that, and that's it.
It might not have the option of being cast at a higher spell level.
Yeah, technically it does not, but under the circumstances, if you would like to expend, under this specific circumstance, if you would like to expend that spell slot at a higher level to get the same effect, the exact same effect, I will allow it.
I mean, I'm taking out a lot. I'm losing all 3rd, and I'm losing my only 4th, which I could really care less about the 4th.
See? It's a win-win.
Yeah, for you.
The only problem is like you said, I mean, you're losing those 3rd level spell slots, so, I mean, that's literally 3, 6, 9 plus 4. That's 13 levels that could be used for healing, possibly, if somebody's...
Well, I mean, I don't care about mass healing word. It doesn't do as much as... So, prayer of healing. I mean, granted, prayer healing, I think we've already had this discussion as well. Me, I just prefer to use prayer of healing versus mass healing word.
Yeah,
and not only that, speaking of which...
What the?
Mm-hmm. Gesundheit. Oh, excellent. So, after a long rest or whatever, I'm supposed to roll to see how many charges I get back for the hammer.
Gotcha.
Since I expended 3 charges to cure Geth over there of his blindness to see if I can actually fix other Shiza as well, but it didn't work.
Gotcha.
So,
how many charges did you get back?
3.
There you go. That's convenient.
So, I mean, I have healing charges in the hammer. But this this thing only has 7, so if I'm spending 3, I mean that's only 2 people that gain the benefit, and it cures you of blindness, deafness, poison, which doesn't matter for us, and disease.
I can do protection from evil and good,
I don't
which will at least give the undead a disadvantage.
Did you see? Is that? So here's the question on that. Like, I'm guilty of not using that spell very much, which, you know, maybe that's something I should look into in the future. Playing a mage is like support. But as far as I know, I think that might be a stationary spell. If that's something that you can cast on a person while they're moving, it would definitely be...
Oh, no, I thought I actually did it once, but it was actually during Tomb of Annihilation, but that was detection.
So protection from evil and good is a touch spell?
Yes.
So I don't think it's as long as... But it's also a concentration spell.
That's the only hard part.
That's the loop in that.
Nope.
So, yes, you could cast that on somebody. It would grant them several benefits. Those creature types would have disadvantage on their attack rolls. The person who has it on them can't be charmed, they can't be frightened, they can't be possessed. And if they already are charmed, frightened, or possessed, that target would have advantage on their new saving throws. But yes, so it's in a way it's stationary. It's stationary on that one person. Gotcha. That person could still move around, but the caster has to keep it's a concentration spell.
I do also have Magic Circle. 256. Which that's the one I've been reading right now, just to get a better hands on. That would be more for like when we actually are in battle.
Yeah, because that one is stationary.
That one's stationary.
You create a 10-foot radius, which is a 20-foot tall cylinder. Excuse me. And then you have to choose one or more of the following types of creatures. So in this case, you could select undead.
Yeah.
Then that creature can't willingly enter the cylinder by non-magical means.
Also disadvantage on attack rolls.
If it does try to like teleport into that circle, it'd have to make a charisma saving throw. Yes, they have disadvantage on their attack rolls against all targets within the cylinder. And the targets that are within the cylinder can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
So it's kind of like the same thing, but more for instead of just one person, for everyone as long as they stay where they are.
Right, but it is stationary, yes. Yep, you got it.
Yep.
So I do like that. The only problem is, even with AC being high between me and Geth, his AC, what is your AC at there, Rums?
19.
19. Higher than mine.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Amazingly. I mean, even when at disadvantage, you still can hit. So the only thing that I'm worried about is that fucking necrotic damage. That could dwindle us down, especially for this one.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about it.
I know you're not, because you're a Jack.
Jack wagon.
Thanks, buddy.
With 6 wheels.
A 6-wheeled jack wagon.
It's more like 5.
Wow.
But he's just there to be an inconvenience.
The 5th wheel's just
Nice.
It's always breaking down on you because it's just in that one spot where you're just like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you even a thing?
Why are you... God,
Why
I
do
just
you
need to
exist?
cut you out like a cancer. Just get out of here.
Idiot.
Yeah, we haven't run into the Kobold Union for a while.
I know.
And we probably won't because we're dealing with liches and not dragons.
Yeah, unless they're undead, freaking gold.
Yeah, can you believe the benefits of this outfit?
I gotta live forever, but I can't become a dragon. Because, I'm dead.
A Dracolich Kobold.
Don't get any fucking ideas. Damn it.
Awesome.
Be like a kobold that's like a death knight. Because he's undead. That'd be kind of cool.
I'm listening.
No more ideas.
Don't stop there.
Oh, that's my character for Candle Keep, man.
A kobold?
Yeah, Death Knight.
No.
I got him.
You got to save that for the Ghoul Empire campaign.
What the?
Yeah.
I'm
Because
just-
kobolds in that campaign are actually a player character race.
What the?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't play a kobold. I already did the goblin thing, and that was cool enough. With my bug baskets, my bug bombs.
Your bug bombs. Yeah, that was a fun 1-shot, 2-shot.
It was fun till we got wargs, and we were more worried about our wargs eating us than trying to do what we needed to do.
Do you guys feel like you got a plan?
I don't know. I mean, we're still.
I mean, there's plans, but we just haven't settled on one.
All right.
Well,
Take your time.
The tough thing is, like, the
Hash it
protection from good and evil is. I mean, it's a good idea and all,
But it's
but
that concentration.
plus it's on one person.
Exactly. So, my other idea was cast it on the 2 people that are going to be up in the front and everything. Because I can cast spells from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
And everything like that. And if I need to get up there and everything like that, I will. This one needs to stay back. Lowest strength and everything like that. And I don't know if I have another favor from the gods.
But
Kind
that's
of been asking for a lot lately. So I mean, but it's up to you. I mean, you can stay in the back with this one with the bow. Me and this dude will be up front. Because granted, I do have that shield, and I know how much he hates it.
now
It works in my favor, and I enjoy it.
here's the thing that's jacked up. I'm gonna bring it up because it's just me being me and being prepared. I honestly,
You being you or you being Thrander?
me being Thrander and wanting to be prepared. I think we're a little ill-equipped to be going inside a Lich's lair like this, and we might want to maybe expand our repertoire a little bit as far as like maybe some protective items or
That
offensive
I
items.
understand. Yeah, like, I mean, I get that. If you want to take the
But-
time to go and procure that stuff,
The problem
thing
is
money.
leaving. Well, it's not just that, but it's also leaving and coming back again. Which I understand, so we're already here, so that's a decision. And, obviously this is a talk, obviously we should have had before we made it this far, but now that we've encountered what we have, we don't know what else is in there. I mean, we got past the blood elemental things,
Which also was a pain.
which was tough, but we made it past. Then these shadow monk things, or whatever the hell they are, they really put a hurting on us.
Yeah.
And that's like literally 3 rooms into here. So it wouldn't hurt to see if we couldn't find... I mean, we can maybe procure scrolls with spells on them that we need. That way it doesn't take up your spell slots. Scrolls, as far as I understand, are, depending on the spell level, can be reasonably priced. Maybe, depending on the region we're in, which right off the top of my head, I don't think I can try to reach out to the keep because we're pretty close to Darkhold, but I don't know if
I don't even think they want you to. They don't want you to go anywhere near.
Well, I'm not talking about going there, but since we're relatively close, trying to get word there and see if maybe they could send something to help us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Deval had actually said that he was going to see if there was... that we weren't actually trying to go to Darkhold, but if there was any assistance that they could lend, not monetarily, but like item-wise, and if it was something that they would at least be willing to lend us until we finish this, I would be more than happy to return it to the hold or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just think as we're equipped, we're not poorly equipped, we're just not equipped to deal with these type of foes that we're dealing with, which makes it very difficult.
Mm.
And like I said, I'm not trying to be like a stick in the mud or a stickler, because I've already done it a couple of times in this group where I'm like, yeah, I don't think we should do this because this isn't a good idea, but I'm thinking about our survival.
Pretty sure there was a certain someone that would always go above that.
Above them?
Yeah, and just basically force the group, or attempt to force the group to just do whatever the hell he wanted, but
yeah.
No. I am down with that. If you want to take the time and everything like that, and we contact.
I mean, I'm like, don't get me wrong. What I'm thinking is like what we're doing is similar to like what we do in our single player games. If you go up against a foe and you kind of get your butt kicked, you're like, well, I need to gain a couple of levels and get some gear, and then you go back in there and you may not clean house, but you survive it.
Yeah.
And it's not by the skin of your teeth. You're actually able to, you know.
No, I get you 100%.
So, I mean, I hate to admit it, but I think at this one we've kind of met our match, and that's just with his subordinates at this point. So I think it might be better for us to try and prepare a little more.
Thrander, can you roll me a history roll, please?
Mm-hmm.
There might be a better roll, like insight, but let's just go with history for shits and grins.
Burn. What was that flick?
21.
Oh, good flick.
Based off of your experience and dealings within your own organization, you have a pretty good idea of where Darkhold is, and it's in the Sunset Mountains, which isn't too far. But more specifically, you remember there's a small village. There's actually a couple of them, but this one's specific and has some kind of value to you and your situation. There's a village within screaming distance of Darkhold. It goes by the name of Corm Orp. That's C-O-R-M space O-R-P. Corm Orp. If you follow along the western edge and head south from where you are of the Sunset Mountains, you should, with a little bit of luck and a little bit of work, come across this village. Here's why this is a place of interest and may be helpful to you. Corm Orp is a halfling village, and you know through your various dealings that the only reason that this village exists is because they have worked out in a kind of a informal agreement with the Zents. Now, their halflings are not the only ones that live there, but they make up the majority of the population. And because of their outwardly friendliness, they're charming, and in such, they're also kind of disarming in their charm. And so any caravans or adventurers or basically any person who passes through their village, the halflings inform on them to the Zents. So again, it's kind of like an informal handshake between these two groups. It's possible that if you get to this place that you are not breaking any agreement by going directly to Darkhold, and that through them you could get word to Darkhold, thus not putting Darkhold in any kind of danger. Potentially putting the halflings in danger, but since they're not Zents, you're not breaking any agreement that you have. And getting some stuff accomplished that you were just talking about. The other thing that makes finding this village a little bit on the easy side is their primary source of income is wine, and they have quite a number of great vineyards around the village. Thus making it, if you start hitting a bunch of great wine vineyards, you know you're close.
Sounds good. I will, for continuity's sake, basically explain to my teammates here what you explained to us so that I'm not repeating exactly everything you just said.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, unless you want me to say it in my own words, but...
No.
I mean, that sounds like it's worth a shot at this point.
I'm just giving you options. You ask for options, I give you options.
And, I mean... I'm not one to back down from a challenge, but that was, I don't remember if it was Hegan or somebody had said, through that whole fight, we didn't even drop one of them. And if they hadn't left, there's a good possibility they would have finished off the party if they would have stayed. So I think we definitely need to be a little better prepared before we go back in there.
Okay.
Yeah, because after all of a sudden... done before I healed. This guy dropped... Well, granted, I was already kind of hurt, but I was all the way down to 48. And I mean, he did 1728 points of damage. And if I didn't have that shield, imagine you probably would have done more.
I don't know, I'm just the DM.
Exactly.
He managed to drop me to 98 hit points.
Oh,
it was just that necrotic.
You mean that you went from here down to 98, or did I take a total of 98?
No, you took me down to 98.
Oh, well. Yeah,
Still
plenty of hit points. Jeez. Now if he's like, I had 10 hit points left.
Plenty of hit points, but yet we hadn't dropped one of them.
No.
Yeah, I was... It was
close.
Yeah, no, I know, because of the movie trailer spoiler.
The hit points wouldn't even have counted, because if Casey hit one more time, she could have had over, still 20 to 30 hit points, but if it dropped her strength to zero.
Oh, I know.
Oh, that was the thing, man. Yeah, hit points weren't the deal. It was your strength score getting zapped out.
That was one of them, yeah.
And that's dangerous for me, because my strength isn't very high. I'm a dexterity dude, so... They start draining my strength, I'm gonna...
I'm going down. Yeah, no, I'm fully aware. Alright. Is this something that you all want to do?
Yes.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Out of the group, the person who's probably got the best idea as to where to go would be Therander. So Therander, I'm going to ask you to roll a survival roll. That is if you decide to take point on this. If there's another decision you'd like to make, or somebody has a better idea, by all means, please present it.
Somebody find me an animal. Preferably a bird. I'll go talk to it. Doodad.
Somebody want to make a nature roll?
Oh, well, my nature sucks. My survival's great.
Oh, look at that.
No, survival roll will be fine. Survival roll. Sure.
24. Oh, you switched it to survival. You did one nature.
Yeah, survival. So.
All right, we'll poo on you.
I mean, 8 in total, but I rolled a 1.
What'd you get there, Thrander?
Oh, I haven't rolled yet.
Gath? Survival? What'd you get? Survival?
No, well,
He rolled nature. I got a 10 on survival.
How close do you got to be to this animal?
Huh?
How close do you got to be to this animal?
give me a second. Let me calculate this first before I go and do something else.
Math is hard.
Yeah, balls.
Doing stuff is hard.
Eating Olive Garden and getting the explosive shit is hard. When you said that yesterday, I fucking lost my... I was like, I read that text and I was like, holy shit. And then Nick was like, yeah. And I was like, oh shit, you doubled down.
You doubled down. Oh my goodness.
So it was 19 on my survival.
Okay. What spell are you casting and how close do you need to get?
Where the hell am I? Oh, no. So I have to be... Good. Oh, good, I do have it freaking memorized. There. Range says it's self, but you gain the ability to comprehend and verbally commute with beasts.
I gotcha. So you don't have to cast it on the bird itself. You cast it on yourself.
I'm casting on myself.
And then you can speak to...
So yeah, as long as I think, or I believe that it can hear me.
Can you speak to any animal, or do you have to specify the animal?
Speak with animal. And
Yeah, so you can speak to any animal. It doesn't have to be
any
a bird. Okay, but you're specifically looking for a bird.
Yeah.
I understand now.
Because they're more well-traveled than your land-based animal.
Yeah, no, I totally... Yeah, the logic makes complete sense to me.
Gotcha.
I'm smelling exactly what he's stepping in.
Whoa,
Gross.
and I don't like it.
Smell like dookie.
So, as you guys are heading in the direction set by Thrander, and you are in the process actively looking for a bird, you see flying through the trees above you, and these are like kind of like pine trees. It's not, we're not talking thick forest here. But you do come across a yellow-rumped wobbler.
Ooh. You have to look that one up.
No, you don't have to look it up. It's a bird.
No, I was asking if you looked that up.
Didn't you know that Pat was a bird watcher on his
Yeah.
free
Are
time?
you?
Yeah, totally.
Really?
It's so my thing.
I mean, he's got so much time, you know, with work and painting
Oh,
miniatures
don't I
and
know
doing
it.
homework for campaigns and editing podcasts.
I am a Renaissance man. What can I say?
It's amazing. It's magical.
It's magical. Paint, write poetry, and birdwatch. Magical.
We already know about the poetry.
It's a thing.
Yeah, okay.
And now he's the proud owner of a beard. Finally.
Glorious. It's glorious. I stroke it every day.
Feels nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's good stuff. So, what do you want to do there, Brewbane?
Just attempt to talk to it.
As this bird is flitting about, and you speak out to it,
Hey! Over here!
the bird almost like in mid-flight. Like normally when a bird's moving about, its head is kind of focusing the ground.
Oh shit!
Rander's aiming a bow at
I
it.
was joking, man. I was joking.
Knock it off.
I was joking.
You know how like let's say you're jogging down the street, and then somebody off in left field yells out, "Hey!" And then your head whips. Right? It kind of does that as its head whips around, and it almost crashes into the tree that it was moving to.
Oh!
But it catches itself, and it lands. Hey! You talking to me? You can't be talking to me. How are you talking to me? How's he talking to me? How you talking to me? Talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Hey, easy there. All right.
Oh, my goodness. I can understand what you're saying.
I know. I can understand what you're saying too.
How the heck is that possible?
Do all we hear is them going tweet, tweet, tweet,
Yeah,
tweet,
that's
tweet?
all you hear. The rest of you just hear tweet, 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 and he's going tweet, tweet, tweet back to it.
You guys thought I was crazy.
You are crazy. I can hear you, you know.
You are.
I have the ears of a fox.
This is amazing. I can understand what you're saying. How are you doing that?
Magic.
Magic?
I don't understand it,
I know you
but it's
don't.
amazing. Keep doing that. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Okay.
Say something else.
I will.
That was boring. Try again.
I want your help with something.
Oh, you want my help?
I do.
You're huge. What could you possibly want my help for?
Well, see, I don't have wings. You do. You get around a whole lot, don't ya?
Does that mean you can't fly?
I don't have wings, so yeah, I guess it technically is. Oh, here we go.
Oh my goodness, that must really suck.
Sometimes, yes.
I get it. You poor creature, you. You poor thing. You do need my help, you big lug, you. You're big. You can't fly. You definitely need help.
I guess we'll just take that as a compliment.
You do that. What can I do for you, you big lug?
So, there is a village around here. I was wondering if you'd be able to point us in the direction where it is.
I think you're going to have to be a little more descriptive. I think you're going to have to give me a little more detail.
Who's knocking?
That was me.
Oh, thanks, sir. Totally freaked me out.
On the window.
You guys are being a little too loud.
So, the village
The village.
is probably around in this area, alright? It's a small one, so you see how big I am. Well, this one has probably people that are a little bit littler than me.
There are a lot of things that are littler than you.
Yeah, I understand you being
like
one
a
of them.
whole crap ton of things that are littler than you.
I know that you're saying a little. There's a crap ton of little things, but I'm talking like people that are like me,
They're
human kind of like humanoid.
I'm
Right?
listening. I'm listening. Go
But they're
on.
really short people, and they live in a village.
Could you be more descriptive of this village? There's a lot of villages.
Well, I never been there before. How'd I tell you? I mean, how many other places do you see where buildings are out?
All over the place. Look. Right next to your feet, right over there. Those things right there are little. And as you look down around your feet, you see a bunch of ants moving across the ground. And
Or you start stomping on them.
I can't.
they're carrying various little twigs and leaves and stuff, and they're moving it into an ant hill. There you go. You found it. It's right there by
It's
your
not
feet.
a village.
Well, what the hell would you call it?
Why are they pointing at an ant?
You're making this really hard.
Hey, Thrander, come here, please.
Huh?
Come here.
What do you need?
Ask me a question and I'll ask the bird. Do you have any sort of descriptions of what this place looks like?
I'll give him a description of Darkhold, and the village is going to be sitting in the shadow of this massive structure.
And you pass that on.
So you got a big structure called Darkhold, and down underneath is the shadow of it is a little village.
This Darkhold thing that you're talking about is this like big, massive, like black structure.
Black structure?
Yeah.
Aye!
Emanating evil.
I don't think it's emanating evil.
And it casts this long shadow across the ground.
What exactly is evil?
Evil.
But what evil is
What
kind
is
of
evil to you anyway?
a perspective, I believe.
Evil to me is people who shoot at me and try to kill me. And it's a sense of not being welcome.
Okay, where's that?
You really want to go there?
I
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
I don't fly, so I don't think they're going to be shooting me down. And I'm not going to... You're just going to tell me which direction it is. I'm not going to have you go flying over there.
Okay, fair enough. It's that way. And he kind of points to the south by southeast, but more south.
With a wing? Or
Yeah, he's literally with a wing.
Oh, that's a pretty nifty trick.
So we just see, doo-wee.
He's saying that way. Kind of southeast, and...
If this village is the place that I think that you're trying to go to, and you're not going to the evil place, they have some great food there. Surrounded by these purplish, juicy, very large, tasty bundles of joy. The problem is, every time we try to go over there, these little creatures with the curly hair and hair on their feet, they're always like trying to shoo us away and shoot stuff at us, and I would like to go and get some of that. I help you, you help me?
Yeah, they're called halflings. And
Is that what
yeah,
they're
sure,
called?
I'll go get you one.
No. One.
Oh, shit.
1 plus 1 and 1 more and 1 and 1.
That's already like 10.
Is that what it's called?
Maybe.
10? How many's 10? Is it more than 1? It's a lot more than 1.
It's more than one.
Then that's what I want. I want a lot more than 1.
Okay.
Then I can come with you.
I don't think it's a good idea if you did, if you're gonna get shot down.
That's why you're going to protect me so I don't get shot down and I get to get...
Well, where are you
the
gonna be?
juicy
Right
stuff.
here on my shoulder?
You tell me where the best place is that you're going to protect me.
Well, you could be on my shoulder, just don't poo on me.
I wasn't thinking about pooing on you. I mean, geez, we just met. It's gross.
Oh, where the gods, this one.
Okay, let's call it a deal.
You gotta hang up here on my backpack.
Yes.
Alright?
Yes.
If
Yes.
anybody tries to mess with you,
That's right.
I'll defend you.
You big lug, you defend me.
Now go get your fruity thingy whatever.
Fruity thingy.
What color is it again?
It's like purple.
Purple.
Yeah, it's juicy. So juicy, so good, so sweet, so good.
Oh boy. Alright. Tag along then.
Sweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
The bird's tagging along. Apparently, for his information, I owe him a little bit of a treat.
You made a new friend.
Treat, 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 treat. Treat, 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 treat.
Why don't you go ahead and like turn into that other thing that you do and
Today
let me go
the
ahead and see
cold.
those tails of yours.
Today the cold one.
I'm gonna shave
Short
that
and
mustache
tiny.
Alright, you're bald now.
He's a lot nicer than I thought he was.
What's
he made
up?
a friend today.
Hey, you wanna do me a favor?
You don't know what I'm writing in my diary.
Just go land on her head, his head, and just...
Okay.
It'd be hilarious.
What are you gonna...
I'm joking, don't do that, she's gonna kill you.
Son of a...
What is this treat that it wants from you?
It's purple.
Treat.
And it's juicy.
Like a grape?
Maybe. I'm pretty sure he'll point it out to me whenever we go walking through.
Alright.
Oh god, I want one so bad.
He's like a
he might
Nick
be
fiend.
addicted.
He's like a Nick
All we
fiend.
hear is tweet, 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 but you're like, all you hear is.
Good.
Right then.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get moving.
All right.
Great. Now the opinion of the group has changed.
The opinion of the group.
I don't know what the word is for it. I meant to say something else, but whatever. Let's go.
The
Opinion
dynamic?
of me.
The dynamic of the group.
Is that what it is?
Oh, that's
He's talking about the way we're looking at him now that he's talking to animals and animals are hanging out with him, but it's like for those of us learned people
You weren't there with me in Cholt when I was going through all this.
for those of us people who are a little bit learned understand Druid's relationship with the wild and stuff, which is the reason why you couldn't just stomp on the ant colony, because that's not what Druids do.
No.
Which was the reason why I made... Unless you're an anti-Druid, do those exist?
They do.
Pat's like, yeah.
I have an idea for an anti-druid that I've been holding on for some time.
Oh, Jesus.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Alright, you done writing down in your diaries? Let's get moving.
Oh, yeah, while we're walking.
Yeah, whatever you say there, pretty boy. Let's get going.
All right. It's not. It's definitely not as far as Iobor. It does kind of tuck into a little bit of the mountains, the Sunset Mountains. But with your new friend's help, you are eventually able to make your way through. And it's not like you're going through the Sunset Mountains. You're following along the edge. And at one point you turn kind of, and it would be like going into the foothills that lead up to the mountains itself. And as you're coming over the edge of one of these foothills and you're looking down, you can see groves of vineyards. Great vineyards. Over several of the hills. And over one of those hills, you see a couple of different streams of smoke gently coming up into the air.
What do I call you anyway?
That is a good question.
It doesn't have a name.
You don't know that? No, you don't. If he doesn't have one, then I'll give him one.
Would you like to give him one?
Tweaker.
What the?
Okay. The yellow-rumped wobbler is known as Tweaker.
Alright, there, Tweak.
Tweak, 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 tweak. Tweak, tweak,
Are these the
tweak,
things
tweak,
that you're talking about? Grapes?
How long does your spell last?
Oh, balls.
And do you want to recast it? Because the chances are it's still not in effect unless it lasts forever and ever.
Me and shit anyway. Too far, okay, a little bit. Not sure, I think it was on the page.
Duration 1 minute.
1 minute. There it is. 10 minutes.
It lasts 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Oh, okay.
100 rounds?
100 rounds. So if you need me to cast it again, I'll cast it
Yeah,
again.
you'll need to cast it.
Okay, so I cast it again.
Holy heck! Holy heck, holy heck, holy heck, holy heck, holy heck. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
Hey there, Twig, relax, relax.
Oh my god.
So I take it was grapes that you were talking about.
Is that what they're called?
That's what they're called.
Oh my god, I want so many of them. Let's get
Now, don't go trying to take them, alright? I'll have to buy them for you.
What? What?
What? Don't worry about it, you're gonna get them either way.
I have to wait?
Just a wee bit longer.
Man, you talk funny.
The wait is worth the effort, alright? I get you some, and then you're gonna have plenty, and then you can fucking tweak out all you want.
No, I'm so gonna tweak on these birds. Grapes or whatever you call them.
Great.
Okay.
So how long does it take us to get there anyway?
It took you like a day and a half to 2 days to get there from where you were before.
Oh, okay, so it's like a okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
You guys go over a couple of these hills and you find there's a path that you're able to easily find that winds through these vineyards. And for the most part, as you work your way, you can occasionally see a halfling working in a field, or vineyards is not the only production they have here. They also have sheep and a small number of cattle and goats. So it is, these are vineyards and farms. And as you work your way through, you can see that these halflings have built their homes into the hills around where these vineyards are and stuff. And you can see them going about their day, whether it's milking a cow or tending to a garden, tending to their vineyard. Occasionally you'll go by one of these homesteads, and out front you'll see a couple of barefooted halfling children stomping grapes in a barrel, like a wash tub, which is really weird because they're so small. So production of grape smashing is a little smaller than it would be for, say, humans or whatever. But, they're getting the job done. And they all seem to be very friendly. A lot of smiling faces, a lot of waves. Good day to you from a distance, right? But none of them actually get too close. It isn't until you actually get into the village proper. And it is this is not a city, it's not even a town, but it is a bustling village. And there's a mix match. The village is surrounded by these low hills. And within the hills, it's almost like multiple hobbit holes have been burrowed around. But there's also buildings. And these buildings are, quaint and made of wood. They're crafted. And for the most part, they seem, at least the wooden structures, seem to be close enough where humans and elves would be able to enter them without too much discomfort. But there's not a whole lot of height. The occasional human or elf might move through the street. You do find yourselves winding and finding your way to... Come on now. Give me a second. In the village, the other thing that you see a lot of in this village is pottery. And because of the number of sheep that they have, a lot of wool products. You see quite a few stands out near the center of the village where people are selling wool blankets, parkas, throw rugs, etc. There's two notable locations that stand out in this place. And the first is, you can tell it's some kind of temple. And it appears to be a temple to some kind of goddess. Somebody would need to make a religion roll.
No, 19.
So the symbology that's around this temple is a flower. And this place is like under every single window there's a place for flowers to grow. There's a word I'm looking for, but a planter?
A planter box?
Planter box, thank you. This place is chock full of planter boxes. But there's this big, ornate, glass-stained symbol of a flower over the door. And you recognize it as the symbol for Sheila Periol, which is the halfling goddess of agriculture. She's known as the Green Sister, the wise, the watchful mother.
Okay.
She is, her portfolio is like agriculture, nature, weather. The other building that really stands out in this place is a tavern, and it's got the typical sign that hangs over the door. And painted on that sign, you see the words, "The Hungry Halfling."
Oh, how original.
Yeah, fair enough. The door's a little low. It's a little round. For the dwarf, maybe just a little crouch. For everybody else, it's like you're bowing to get in through the door. When you clear through the door, there is a little more headroom. You kind of like have to. You can probably get through fairly easily. The rest of you have to kind of crouch, and you find yourself at a table. It's almost like sitting at a children's table. The table's low to the ground. The seat's a little small. Your knees are kind of a little higher than you're most usual and comfortable with. But the place is warm and friendly. There are several halflings in one corner singing a little ditty. There are several serving individuals in this place. And even though it's midday, this place is bustling. They are bringing out drink and food. And the mugs are pretty big for halflings, and the plates are pretty for their size, not their appetite. In other words, the portions are ample even for all of you, including the big giant barbarian. Well, good day to you. Would you like to have a seat over here at this table? Why are you laughing at me?
Sure thing.
That dumb. Especially the barbarian.
The look on your face is perfect. That disgruntled, this sucks look on your face is awesome. Is there something in particular you'd like to have?
What time of day is it? Is it,
It's midday. Later in the afternoon.
I suppose some drinks and food.
Lamb's leg.
Oh, jeez.
Give me one moment, please.
I don't know, were there any lambs?
I saw you said there were sheep.
You see that black book right there? The black 3-ring binder? Yeah, that one.
There were some sheep on the farm. So I was like, sheep.
Lamb chap.
Lamb chop.
They might not eat lamb.
Huh?
They
They're
might-
halflings. They fucking eat everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Oh, here we go.
Are they cannibals? Like the ones in Dark Sun?
I mean, you might be able to fucking see a couple.
I think the ones in Cholt were.
Yeah?
We have seen halfling cannibals. Holy shit.
You have seen halfling cannibals, yes.
Do you get scared looking at halflings now?
All of a sudden I get a flashback and I see this war paint on this dude and I'm just like... Just kidding.
Well, you are in luck, even though you're a little late for lunch. We do have some lamb stew left over. Fried cockatrice. Some collard greens. And strawberries.
Where do you get the cockatrice from? From Darkhold?
No, they're hunted locally by certain individuals.
From Darkhold?
Easy there, fella.
Do you have an interest there, my friend, with Darkhold? Or would you like me to tell you about our midday snack meal?
First, do you have any grapes?
Well, yeah, we absolutely have grapes.
Alright, well, I'd like to buy a few. You know what? Throw in a bit of strawberries in there as well.
Very well. Would you like that with the lamb special? The lamb stew?
I kind of like to have that all, like, separate.
I'll take the lamb stew.
She'll take the lamb stew.
I want to hear this lunch snack thing menu.
Well, the snack is fried fish and chips and melon. Now, if you're hanging around and you're looking for dinner, which we will be serving soon, we have sautéed flump and violet mushroom,
Whoa.
chickpeas, corn, flatbread, and or choice of spice bread.
Let me ask you something. Do you guys have rooms that accommodate folk our size?
As a matter of fact, we do. You are in luck. You would not be the first larges that we have served in this location. We don't get too many, but you wouldn't be the first. However, for a room of your size, we would consider that like a large private room with a large bed.
Mm-hmm.
It does, however, come with a private bath and hot water on request. Snacks on request, though the cost is separate. In other words, we bring food to the room. And your own private chamber pot.
Oh boy.
All for the cost of 1 gold piece a day. You can't beat a deal like that.
Take my money.
As for the lunch special, I'm getting the feeling that both of you want one. That'd be 2 gold pieces each. I will throw in the grapes.
Here you go.
And strawberries.
Strawberries comes with the meal. Grapes are extra.
Make sure that they're separate.
I will put them in a separate bowl for you. I'm
Perfect.
assuming the still on the stem is okay with you.
Sure. Doesn't bother me at a little bit.
Are you telling this guy to get us some grapes? Is that what they're called? Grapes, right? Grapes? You telling him to get
I
grapes?
also got you something else. They're called strawberries.
They better
I'm
be.
pretty sure you'll like them. Alright? Just
Tell him to get grapes.
she'll get them.
Okay.
Right? Patience.
Patience. What about the rest of you two? Big guy, you look hungry.
I'll have the stew as well.
Lunch special, 2 gold pieces.
What the?
Do you all each want a room?
Yes, I believe we're gonna at least need to stay at least at a minimum 1 day, maybe longer.
4 gold pieces.
Guy's sitting on the chair like this.
With his knees up in his chest. You, young man?
I'll have the fish and chips with the melon.
Fish and chips and the melons. That's only 8 silver apiece.
What kind of I'm gonna try some. You guys got your own wine thing going on out there. I see it. I'm trying some of the homebrew wine you got going.
Yes.
Absolutely. Would you like me to bring a bottle to the table? Maybe a couple?
Sounds good.
All right, we can do that. They are on special today. It's only 5 silver pieces per bottle.
I'll take care of it.
Never mind.
And one other request is I need to get word to my friends at Darkhold. Is there a courier that can carry a message there?
Maybe.
I'll move my cloak aside.
Understood. Is there a reason why you're not going to Darkhold yourself?
Not one that you should be concerned with.
Who should I tell them is asking?
Thrander Velquendis.
Alright, Thrander. I will give them your name.
Stalwart is my rank.
Alright, big guy. Is there...
Pat wrote up a ranking system.
No, I know.
Is there anything else you want, Mr. Stalwart?
Nope. I'll divvy up all the coin and give it to him.
Alright. Well, thank you very much. And make sure to tip the entertainment tonight.
Are they like, I'm already scared for the entertainment.
Well, the entertainment is a bunch of halflings in the corner, and they're all playing musical instruments. Little drum, little tambourine, little lute, little flute.
Little one dancing.
Geth is just getting... It's just funny because Geth is getting just more and more upset. Because he's sitting on Geth, he grabs a little cup.
They're not little.
They're not little.
I'm messing.
It's more like your elbow, you like kind of reach for something and it bumps over the next table and you're like, oh, sorry.
So, just so I'm clear, aside from getting word to Darkhold, was there anything else that you wanted to do specifically here in Corm Orp?
As far as I know, just get some rest, knowing that we won't have to set a guard while we're here. It'd be nice. Some rest, some food and refreshments. Not that... Oh, shit. It doesn't matter where we go. We can't really rest without a watch, to be honest. Because of the phylacteries. Although we've moved enough, and they haven't appeared as of yet. And I think only after they appear is when we really have to worry about getting attacked, because I'm pretty sure that's how they track us. This is out of game, because I wouldn't be saying this in front of the halfling and scaring the shit out of him. And I didn't want to give him too much information, because the more he knows, the more problems that could cause him versus...
I understand.
You know.
You got your secrets, big guy. I get it.
Alright, keep your secrets.
Keep your secrets.
You know. At least I believe that's what my rank was Stalwart.
You would know better than me. Okay, so I understand what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. I understand that you want to reach out to Darkhold and ask for some help. You're looking for an opportunity to kind of rest up, but also at the same time understanding that your lives are still in danger. All of this I will take into consideration and put it all to some kind of process that I will work through to figure out what the next steps are for this campaign. But today, we will be wrapping up this session. And I hope everybody listening, and more specifically, all of you here at the table, had fun.
Woo!
This has been a Merciless Gaming Media Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Everyone here at Merciless Gaming Media, Jerome, Keegan, Nick, sometimes Casey, and myself, Patrick, truly thank you for your patronage. Check out our Merciless Gaming Media Facebook page for updates on future podcasts, and later this week I plan to upload a document that we call Flash Before Your Eyes. We found some like-minded content online, dumbed it down for our purposes, and used this homebrewed rule when a character gets feared or stunned. It provides an opportunity for the player to continue being engaged in the game when otherwise a player would feel left out. We hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and we look forward to you and your comments on our Facebook page.